What's going on, people? So, giving this a second, as always, just to make sure the stream actually starts up like it's supposed to, because sometimes things take a little bit of a weird turn. I had some internet issues, those seem to be kind of resolved now. So, hopefully, things come up and actually look right, because that's the other part of it. Coming up at all is one thing, but looking decent is a whole other ball game sometimes, and it looks like things are decent. So, I don't know. I'm gonna give this a second, see if things level out. You should turn off the. I was uploading a bunch of stuff on the Wi-Fi before. I should probably turn that off. But anyway, so give that a second because it's still looking just a little weird, very pixelated. So I'm gonna see if this kind of levels out or not. I don't know what the deal is with the internet here lately, but it seems like it does fine when it wants to, and then it just kind of takes a weird turn other times. So, and then the other thing is like since YouTube is a little bit behind StreamYard, I have to wait for the stream to pick up to where the actual StreamYard thing is. So, it kind of sucks sometimes. It'd be nice if this was all just one system like it used to be back in the olden days, like 2019, but that's not really the case. Either way, it looks like things are decent enough now, so guess we're good. So, like I said in the thumbnail or whatever, as was implied in the thumbnail, I should say, I got some boxes here, and these I've had for a while, and I'm pretty sure I covered both of them on Instagram at some point or another. But since they're going away this week because they're Christmas gifts or whatever, I figure I'll knock out a quick little review, and then I have some other stuff that I'm gonna action figures that I need to open so I can put on shelves while I sit here and watch Seinfeld and talk to whoever shows up. So that's tonight's game plan. So if you have anything that's on your mind, even if it's not related to what we're actually here talking about, that's completely fine. Just throw it out there. I'm usually up for talking about whatever. If it's something I don't want to talk about, you'll definitely know when we get to that bridge, and then we won't cross it. So, first off, somebody has said something. Who is that? That is Fabricio Fabio. Hello to you. I see you're in Brazil. I believe Ty Conti is from Brazil. I don't know if you know who she is. She's a wrestler. I have a figure of hers down on the floor. So, like I said, we're going to do well, it won't be a full on review like I normally do because that would require me to take these out, put them on feet and all that stuff, and that is not happening. But I am going to get these both opened up. So I can show you the side of one box because they're both very much the same. One is just bigger than the other. So, and you probably saw that already just as I was taking them out of the boxes here. So there's a side of this one, right? Side of that one, right? Like I said, very identical, right? So my parents, right? They like shoes. They don't buy them. They rely on me for that, but I take care of them when I can. So recently, actually months ago, I picked up these right here from my father. These are the Gel Light 3s from Asics, obviously, right? And this is the red pair. These are part of the Doramu doll pack. I may not be saying that word correctly, but that's what they're from, right? So down around here, it's all going to be like the typical leather and stuff. I want to say this was one of the Gel Light 3s that had like that 10, maybe $20 premium. Sometimes they have that because it's, a little higher quality than usual. But either way, and you can kind of tell that to some extent, because it's got a lot of leather and some patent leather look almost on the side for the, not the swoosh, but for the Asics logo. So all in all, it's a very nice shoe, in my opinion. And I bought him these months and months ago because he likes red, and I figured he liked this particular shoe. And I gave him some green ones a while ago, and he was really into those. So I was gonna, give him these sometime coming up soon. But then my mom came along, and I got her the sunflower pair, and she was huge into those. So I figured, well, let me go ahead and get her a pair too. So that's where the size 7 comes in, right? So I picked these up, I don't know, I think like 2 weeks ago, something like that. I ordered them with just enough time so I knew I wouldn't have to wait and chance them not showing up before Christmas or whatever. So I got those both. And if you look over here on the right shoe, it does come with this little hang tag thing. So that's kind of cool, right? Sometimes I get shoes with hang tags, and it's always something very plain for the most part. You know, it's like the Air Max 90s and their little squared Nike logo or whatever. But this one is actually pretty decent, and it doesn't really add too much. I mean, I still don't see myself wearing it if these were mine, but I do like that it's not just your standard crap that they throw on the side of there. So that's pretty cool. And Fabricio says he's doing. Oh no, he's on me. Say, oh no, it's him. He's doing very good. Good. I like to hear that. And Splash Crew says I have these. Me too. Not really. Obviously, yes, that's a lie because these aren't mine. But a lot of people should have these, in my personal opinion, because they look really cool. So I bought my mom a pair because again, Christmas is coming up and all that stuff, and they like to have Christmassy colored things. So, given that these have this red and white going on, that kind of made sense. So, I bought her a pair too. I wish they had a different sort of size structure when it came to pricing because these and these, this is a 10, this is a 7.5. Since they're both technically men's shoes, they both cost the same amount. I kind of wish this had been like a grade school thing because I could have maybe saved a little bit. But the Gel Light 3 is already like 110 to 140 depending on which ones you're buying. So I can't complain a whole lot because they're still really cheap. But anyway, so yeah, it has that thing on the side, which kind of goes along with the pack mentality. And the other one is a greenish sort of color, kind of like teal. And I do like that one. And I might get those for me, but at this point, probably not. And only because I have so many Gel Light 3s. I think 14, I want to say 14 is the most recent count. But anyways, Gel Light 3s, Diramu doll pack. Very nice. What is this? Oh, I forget what these are for. There's some kind of little metal pieces in there. I forget what that goes to, but there were some directions in the box on like how to do something with that. I don't know again what it's all there for, but whatever. Doesn't much matter a whole lot. So let's go ahead, set these things down on over here. So I'll give those to them next time I'm down there visiting, which will be relatively soon. And where's this side? So this right here, this is an Adidas Superstar Box, right? And some of you who probably know more about things than I do recognize this right off the top as being one of those Bape releases, right? So that's where it has kind of like the ape thing going on there and all that crap. It also says Bape over here. So this is just a Superstar 80s. So one thing I do like about this box is kind of like a hard, I don't know what this is. It's not plastic, but it's something very sturdy, you know? You can probably tell, probably hear that, right? So it's very nice. I do like that. Gives it that nice premium sort of feel. So there's the top. Is that upside down? Kind of. There's the top of it. And then there's what's going on the inside. And as I said before, I'm not sure which way this goes. I mean, this way looks like it makes sense, but I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Bape because they've never made anything that I like. So I just kind of don't bother with them. And then on the inside, you got some of the same style paper as you had on the outside, right? So that's just going to have the same sort of camouflage ape thing mixed in there. I don't know if they all come in this box, but these did, obviously. So here's the thing. Quick backstory, right? A few weeks ago, Adidas gave me exclusive access to these. I feel like sites like to give me exclusive access when they know it's something that I don't want, just to see what I'll do about it, you know? And so far, as of late, Adidas and Finish Line have been batting 1,000, or was it 100? They've had some flawless victories. I'll say that because they've both done that for me a couple times lately, and I've given in to it each time, even though what they offered wasn't something I really wanted. But I figure if I give in to the early access and I just buy whatever it is they're throwing at me, as long as it's not like terrible or I can at least gift it to somebody, okay, cool. Maybe it'll give me some good karma points and they will continue doing that. That's what I'm hoping. What was that? Is there okay. Anyways, so apparently I triggered my little Google Assistant thing and it was asking me something about whatever I just said. I don't know. Either way, let's go ahead and get on into these, right? So this, as I was saying, it's like the Bape Superstar 80 from Adidas. So on the outside of this one, you have the star thing. On the outside of this one, you have the 3 stripes. And then if you flip it around, it's backwards on the inside, right? So if you catch them from the same side, like if you were standing to the left or to the right of somebody, they would look the same. So you'd see either the stars, or you turn these around, or from the other side, you would see the stripes. So I think that's kind of a cool way to do that. If you're going to switch up like the logos on something, I think that's a pretty awesome little look there. Now, past that though, right? Looking down here into the details, this one, what does that say? Adidas Superstar on this one. And then the other one says a bathing ape, whatever that means. I mean, I know that's like the name, but like I don't understand the term. Oh, I'm watching episodes of Seinfeld, obviously old reruns. It's funny how like, I can watch these and like I know exactly what the episode is, like from like a few seconds of a clip. So in this one, George he'd stolen a hat or something, and then he left it in some girl's apartment, hoping that would make her call him. Yeah, so that's that one. Anyways, so like I was saying, it's all overall pretty plain. The material feels like decent, for what it is. I mean, these are on the cheaper end of the spectrum when it comes to a lot of shoes that Adidas puts out as far as price point goes, but they do have a nice premium sort of feel to them. Not amazing, but there is a little piece on the inside that I do like. So then moving on back, kind of keeping with the same structure I generally go with on the back end there, right? So you can kind of see that there's once again another little change. So from the left to the right, they both have different logos. One is going to be the Adidas logo. The other one is going to be the Bape logo. I don't know if that's the standard Bape logo or not, because again, I don't follow them. I don't really get into that, but that's what's going on back there. So that's how that's looking. And then past that, like you probably noticed like the shell toe, because that is this type of shoe. And that shell toe right there, that is the one thing that definitely turned me off of these. Well, one of the many things that definitely turned me off of these. The other being like a plain black and white colorway that I'm not a huge fan of, and the whole vape situation. But yes, still, the shell toe, not a fan. Not a fan of the shell toes, right? So you got that going on in some kind of, it's like an off-white sort of color, which has a bit of a clash to me with the rest of the upper, because the rest of the upper is white. So I don't really like that. But anyway, so that's what's happening there. And as you go just a little bit above that, obviously you're going to have where the laces start to get kicked off. And at the bottom, you've got the lace debray, and they say vape on both of them. So it's just like that little gold thing down there, right? Like I said, lace debray. And then you have some standard laces. They're like the thicker ones that you often find on shoes like this, right? So you got some thick white laces, still flat and all that good stuff. And once again, you have a slight change as you get to the top of the tongue here, kind of like what you saw on various other places. So on this particular shoe, you are looking at the Bape thing. So let me see, hopefully that's showing up. So there you go, you have like the Bape guy in there, right? Just kind of hanging out doing Bape things. So there's that. Actually, quick pause, let's see. Those looks good, better the Superstar with camouflage, greetings from Brazil. It's a lot of Brazil people popping in here. Appreciate that. And I also missed a question from, well, it's not a question. Amy says good evening. I say good evening to you as well. And then Splash Crew said, what's your favorite shoe or brand? Uh, Adidas has kind of been taking that crown away from Nike over the last like year or two. So it might actually be Adidas now. As far as like favorite shoe, it fluctuates too much to really give that a solid answer, because I wear different things for different reasons, So even if I'm just gonna like be going out for the day, like is it sunny? Is it not? Like, that's why I have so many shoes, because I like to have options for whatever it is I'm getting into. There are some fail safes or whatever, but I can't really say what the favorite is. But I will say it's starting to look like it might be an Adidas thing. So like I was saying, over here, you got just like the Bape dude over there, right? So then when you switch over to this here other one, slight change there. And this one's just going to be still gold and all, but it's going to be the Adidas logo. So that's pretty much that. Now, the thing I was mentioning earlier, there's some extra laces in here. And before I forget completely, on the tips of the laces, and this is unlikely to show up, but let me switch over to this other screen real quick just to see. So on the tips of these laces, and yeah, that's not going to show up, but you have Japanese. You have Japanese, I think it is, on this one, and then the other one just says Bathing Ape. So again, these aren't really like the best for, this camera isn't the best for doing these types of reviews or whatever, because I like to put a little detail into mine. But just trust me on it. One is written in Japanese and one is written in English. And then there's some black laces in this little bag here. But where I was going before I kind of got all into lace things and whatnot, the other piece where it has like the dual branding is going to be on the inside. So as you see down in there, on one you have the 8 and on the other you have the Adidas, which is probably exactly what you expected to see, right? And one thing that I'll say that I did not expect to see, hopefully this slides out easily, I haven't tried yet. Sometimes not laces, sometimes the insoles don't like to move. And this looks like it might be one of those. Yeah, and I don't want to go tearing up my mom's shoe, even though I bought it, but still. So you got this nice leather insole going on in there. Kind of goes all the way down. You can't really see because, again, these are just kind of like not great cameras for. When I compare these to my actual reviews, I kind of dislike it a lot. But anyway, so you got that. You got this nice leather insole going on in there, so that's pretty cool. But otherwise, pretty much that's it, really. I didn't quite show the outsole as I usually do. Usually that's the start of the review right there. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, so these overall, I'm not amazed by them. I think they look fine. It's like the execution is decent, right? The quality of the materials on them is cool, no problem there whatsoever. But the execution of it, just like it itself by design, is just flawed. So again, like I don't like shell toes, so that's a thing. I don't like the fact that this is like a beige color, whereas the rest of this is white. So that's kind of a problem. There's a little much gold on here, little too much in my personal opinion. Maybe switching to the black laces might kind of bring that down a notch and make it, a little more subdued. But one thing that I always say is that I am not a fan of switching laces. I just don't have, well, I'm not going to say I don't have that kind of time, because I definitely have that kind of time. I just don't have the energy to devote to that, right? Because I just don't want to. Let's see. Very reasonable. Thoughts on the Manscaping Lawnmower 4.0? I have heard good things about it from Jim Cornette, and that is as far as I can comment on it. But yeah, so that's that. Let me do something real quick. This is the 7. See if there's much of a size difference here, because it's both 7.5, and they look to be close, but not quite the same. Looks like the Asics might the Adidas might be just a little bit longer, but both of these are a 7.5, right? In like a men's shoe size or whatever, because I had to do the conversion for my mom. She's an 8.5. So you usually you can get by just drop down a whole size. On Nike, it's a size and a half difference. But yeah, these look to be about the same size. So sometimes between brands and different models, things can fit a little different. Not always, but sometimes. So there we go. We've gone over that. Talked about everything I can think of to say about these particular shoes. So there we go. Any questions from the class? Anything you guys want to throw out there? Anything you need to ask me about? I often do these things just for the sake of hanging out and talking to people, because I don't make a lot of time to do the lives, because I spend a lot of time doing the videos. Like and I don't care if you're subscribed or not. Like if you're not, it's completely fine. Don't worry about it. But if you've seen any of my stuff before, whatever, you know that when I make my actual reviews, I put a lot of crap into them as far as like time and effort and stuff. So it's time consuming, to put it bluntly. So doing the lives becomes difficult. But it's not a problem, I don't think. It's just I'd like to do more of these. I just don't really get to. So anyways, while I sit here and talk to people and see what people have to say, I'm going to go ahead and open up some AEW figures, right? Because I did an unboxing of these earlier today or yesterday. I've recorded a lot of videos in the last 72 hours, so I don't remember what was when. But I can tell you, I recently opened some stuff, and so now I need to get these out so I can get like out of the box pictures. It's kind of one of those things that I do from time to time. So let's see. Do you go to any industry events in your area? Drop parties? No. Okay, so here's the thing about me that a lot of people seem to not understand, unless you're like some of my like closer friends that really like pay attention to like me as a person or whatever are in the loop, but I'm not into this whole shoe thing like a lot of people are. So I don't care about like drop releases, parties. None of that stuff does anything for me. I like things that are comfortable. I like things that are cheap, and I like things that look nice. So that's why, like, when someone asked earlier, like, what my favorite brand was or whatever, Adidas is likely the answer because they're cheap. They come in usually a pretty wide variety of colors, and they're super comfortable. So for me, it's like it's an easy thing, right? I mean, yes, the Air Maxes are what initially got me into buying shoes, but it's not my fault they didn't really hold my interest over the years, right? I mean, if I compared the Air Max 2021 to the Ultra Boost 21, it's a night and day difference in some ways. And in that same way, I would definitely take the Adidas. So yeah, when it comes to all like the getting involved in like the sneaker community and all that stuff, nah, I kind of just have like no interest in it, like to be completely honest. And maybe that seems weird coming from someone who's like doing the channel thing or whatever, but I'm not here to lie to people. This is Ortiz, right? Yeah. It's kind of, I think it kind of reminds me of New Jack just because like this orange and black camouflage thing. I don't know if any of you guys are wrestling fans, but I'm a bigger wrestling fan than like mostly anything else outside of music. As far as like personal interest, it's probably like, music, wrestling, technology things and whatnot. And then shoes is probably at the end of it, only because I look at them as just something to kind of keep on my feet. You know what I mean? Now, going back to what Bill Jones here was saying, when it comes to those like industry things and whatnot, as I said, yeah, I'm not a huge fan into that stuff. But if there was like if a sneaker con thing was close by, I would consider going to that only because I know that some people that I would like to meet are there. Not like I don't care about the big famous names or anything. I'm saying like other people on my level that are just kind of sitting around and using some of their free time to do reviews and such. So like if you look at like JJ All Day or DB Kicks, Bobby Sneaker World, like they might show up to that, and then I can say, oh, hey, let me go meet this person in person, right? So it'd be cool for that. I don't know why it's so hard to get these things out of here sometimes. But yeah, crazy detail on the faces of these things. Well, I guess you're going to have to take my word for it because it's not really, yeah, oh well, whatever. It's not going to focus because I have a decent webcam, but it doesn't care to focus on anything. So whatever. But what else is on your mind? You got anything else out there you care to ask? Because when I'm, like I was telling somebody in some YouTube comments a while ago, when people ask me things online, you're not going to get as long of an answer. Like if I have to type it out, you're not going to get a whole lot because, I have to type it out. And I just don't always have that kind of time. But in times like this is again why I like to do the lives. Because if people want to hear how I actually feel about something, want some more insight than what I can cram into like an Instagram post or when I try to make a relatively short video, this is the time for that, So what about you though, Mr. Jones, Mr. Bill Jones, because Mr. Jones is the name of someone else, so that's taken. What about, do you go to these industry events? Are you interested in those industry events or are you not? Because I don't even like the ones that I see, like I don't know what people are doing there. I don't quite see why, like people, oh yeah, this is gonna be crazy. It's like I just liken it to, I don't know, like a parking lot after work or after school or something, where you just kind of, you might be walking out to your car with some friends of yours and you maybe like stop to talk about some random things for a few minutes before going on your way. That's what I think of when I think of like those events, just meeting up with people that you like. But I'm sure maybe there's some component to those things that I don't know of. And if that's the case, then cool, fill me in and let me know, like, hey, you might be overlooking this aspect of it, which is maybe something I'd be into. But just, again, going by what I see of things and like Instagram posts and all that crap. Oh yeah, this is the episode where everybody thought Kramer was a proctologist. Yeah, this one was pretty all right. Let's see, I went to the Bodega Carhartt Pass last night. I'm guessing that's supposed to mean party. I was just watching a DB Kicks video, and he was talking about a Carhartt jacket that he bought. So, yeah, I don't really buy a lot of brand things. I mean, outside of shoes, like, I don't buy any other brand name material because I don't know. I'm very cheap outside of that world, Like, I'll spend. I just bought some New Balance made in England 991s, the Houndstooth release that came out not too long ago. I just bought those, right? And those were $260, right? After conversion and shipping fees, they came out to $260. So that's a lot, but like, for that, I really liked the way those looked, so I just kind of let that get a pass. But when it comes to like other clothes, like I'm not spending more than like $20, and that's on the high end, like on a pair of pants. I have a hard time spending that on a shirt too. I mean, unless I'm at a concert, then it's fine because I know that like all the money I spend is going straight to the band, and so it's a different mindset. But normally online, like when I'm buying clothes, which is rare, unless it's a pro wrestling shirt. And this one was free. It's from the gym, like back in my hometown or whatever. Let's see, how many pairs of shoes are in your collection? And do I keep them all in the rotation? So I don't answer that first question because I don't count. As far as the rotation goes, I have a whole playlist that has documented every shoe I've worn since December 8th of 2020. Right? And no repeats. So at least that many. Okay, so to give you some ballpark. And obviously that kind of answers your second question too, of the whole, like, what do I do about the rotation piece? So that's the rotation. Now, obviously, over that year, there were some repeats, but those were generally in the way of performance reviews and things like that, where I kind of have to. But on a day-to-day basis, when I'm just like going out to do actual things, like going out to work, or maybe if I'm going to go hang out with some friends and do something, those days, I definitely do not do the repeats. At least not lately. I'll probably start soon, bringing things back that I haven't worn in a while. But when you have so many, it's basically impossible, right? Because I don't go somewhere every day of the week, right? If it's Saturday or Sunday, I'm probably at home. If there's a show or something, okay, cool. But I also have, like, if you may have seen from videos I've done, I have a select few like concert shoes that I wear just because I don't care if like stuff gets spilled on them. I also need something that I can stand in for 3 to 4 hours, no problem. So I have a small selection for that. So, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I keep the rotation going pretty well. Let's see, do I keep them all in? And so I don't think there's, the only time when something isn't in rotation is if it's like a strictly seasonal thing. So like if you saw the video, it's like, what's it? KOTD, Kicks of the Day. If you scroll through that, you'll see what I'm talking about. And when you get to the March section, because that March for me is always only Air Maxes, because it's Air Max month. So if you look at my Air Max month series, or that section of it, you'll see, actually, I think that has its own playlist too. But if you look at that, right, my March things, you'll see me say some stuff about how like the winter Air Maxes that I have, I stop wearing them when spring hits, which is like what, March 20th, something around there, give or take a day. So those are the only things that fall out of the rotation. and then they just come back into the rotation somewhere around right now. But in this particular case, again, since I wore them this year already, they didn't come back yet. So maybe next year, when March rolls back around, I'll start wearing those wheat 90s and those wool 97s. I also have some wool 90s. I got a couple, well, those are more like utility things, but I have some other winterized 97s and stuff. But let's see. And Bill Jones says, I'm with Marcus. You showcase this will help me remember where I am. I'm with Marcus. You showcase a ton of shoes. Figure I should read it with some inflection. And, I do, right? Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not because I'm trying to, like, show off or anything. I think if you watch any video, you'll know that I'm not the show off kind of guy. I just have a bunch of crap, and I try to justify having it by wearing it when I can. So also in the past, and I'll probably get back to doing this more in the next year or so, over the next year. So before, because like this year I've been doing those videos every day talking about the shoes that I wear, which is time consuming. You'd think like for just a 60-second video, there's not a lot to it, but you set up the lights, you record the thing, you throw it through, I go into the lab, send it through Premiere, do some stuff in there, get it out onto the Instagram, tag it, get it out onto the YouTube eventually. It's a lot of crap, right? So I kind of switched gears for how I normally do with my shoes. Normally, in the past, up until this year, if I wear a shoe and I go out, let's say it's a Saturday, I wear something, I go to the store, I come home, that's it for that. If I go back out later that evening to go to a movie, I'm wearing a different pair of shoes. That's usually how I operate. And that's what helps keep the rotation going, because then you can wear like 2 to 3 pairs a day if you do 2 to 3 things a day, right? So instead of this whole last year and a month or so of doing just one shoe per day, I'm able to get through a lot more, which really helps me because I do not like having stuff just sitting around not being worn. If it's not worn often, cool, no problem. If it's not worn, period, that is where it becomes a problem. I'm not a fan of like the keeping things on ice or DS. Stupid to me. I know some people have their reasons for doing it. Do what you do. I'm only speaking for Tristan. And he says, to which I say, favorite Jordan model. Okay. First off, try to get Santana out of this. Trying to get Santana out of this plastic prison. So first off, before I answer that, I want you to say what you think is my top favorites, like my top 3. Go ahead and list those out, just out of curiosity to see what you think. And then I'm going to answer that question in just a moment. I just want to give you some time to make your guesses. So I'm going to give you my top 3. Easy, no questions asked, right? No debates. Top 3 does not change. So make your guess what those are. And while you do that, I'm going to answer some of the other things, and then I'm going to come back to your question. But I'm going to leave it on the screen so I remember to come back to it. And okay, he says like 1 through 14. Yeah, spoiler alert, or if it helps you, I don't do anything past 12. Let's see. It's really awesome that you wear what you buy. Lots of people don't wear. Yeah, and that's the thing that I don't get. Like, I mean, I can understand to some extent if you, let's say you win a raffle on something that can go for some money, and you're just like going to hold on to it because you want to like make some money in a year or whatever. Sure, okay. I don't support it personally because it takes away from someone who may have wanted it, but whatever, that makes sense. When I see the people that buy something and they're like, yeah, man, I've been wanting these for months. I was super excited when Sneaker News talked about them. And then they're like, yeah, I'm not going to wear them until at least next summer, though. It's like, what? Like, it's January now, though. Like, what are you going to do? And I just don't get that mentality, because if I spend all this money on something, I want to wear it. And then you never know what's going to happen tomorrow anyway, I mean, your foot might get chopped off. You could potentially die also, not necessarily related things, though sometimes. So maybe just don't postpone it. But again, teach their own. Okay. Amy says, I wear all my shoes. As you should. As you totally should. Wear some other people's shoes if you can, if they have like clean feet or whatever and they wear your size. Do it all, man. Heck, you are straight up unboxing action figures that others would keep in original packaging. You're straight up boss. Yeah. Oh, Sting. Some of you guys might know Sting. He was a popular wrestler like a while ago. So, I mean, he's still okay. He's still popular. He's just not like super active. Okay. Oh, and he just threw his question or his response up there. 11114. So, the question was, what are my favorite Jordans, right? For me, easy. The 5, the 7, and the 12. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, and this is going to play into some shoes that I'll be wearing next week. So if you follow me on like Instagram or here, if you pay attention, I mean, then you'll see these and you'll get a repeat answer. But anyways, so starting with we'll go in order of the first ones that I've had. So we'll start with 5s and then we'll go to 7s and we'll go to 12s, which is also chronological. Kind of weird, huh? So the Jordan 5 was my first ever Jordan. And to throw this out there, I haven't been buying shoes for a long period of time. I started in 2015, branching out. From 2005 to 2015, it was only Air Maxes. So in 2015, I bought my first pair of Jordans because some people that I started working with, they were like, oh yeah, like I'm getting these this weekend, I'm getting those next week. They were always talking about the new shoes coming out. So I figured, you know what, let me see what's up with these. And that weekend, there was a pair of, I think it's called like the Hornets 5s, or some kind of grape 5. Not like those Bel Airs that came out last year. This was some old ones, because again, 2015. So I bought those, and I was like, oh, these are pretty nice. They kind of reminded me of something from when I was younger, which is sensible because of how old I am, right? So that was kind of a thing that stood out. It's like my first Jordan, and I still like the look, even though everything about it goes against what I like in a shoe, because it's bulky, it's big, it's clunky, but something about it I just like. It does have some 3M on the tongue, which I'm a huge fan of, and it's got a lot of it because those tongues are like the size of my upper body. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to the 7. The 7 happened to be the second Jordan I bought. But the thing is, and it was the Bordeaux 7, in case you're curious. So I saw that, and I was like, this thing just looks awesome. And I bought it, and I got them in the mail and all that stuff, right? Yeah, because I got them in the mail. And I remember like putting them on and thinking like, wow, these are really cool, like just looking at them and all that stuff. And I wore them to work because we were doing something over the weekend and we had to go in for some extra time or whatever and like take care of some business. So I wore those and people were like, oh man, like you got those? Wow, I was trying to get those too. Because at the time I didn't realize that it was really like that difficult to buy anything. So I was like, to me, it was just another day of buying stuff, like Air Maxes that I was all so used to. You just go online and you buy it. So that's what I did. And to this day, the Bordeaux 7 is easily one of my favorite Jordans, period. And that's taking account for all the other models, all the other colorways that I personally have and that I think highly of. The Bordeaux 7, I don't know, it's just untouchable in a lot of ways, right? And so, moving on to the next one, the Jordan 12, right? Now, I wasn't putting these in order of how much I like them. They're just in order of like how I got them, right? So the Jordan 12, I got my first pair of Jordan 12s in January of 2016 because it was the Master 12s. They came out the same day as the Kobe 11 eulogies, which I also got that day. So I'd seen those 12s coming up, and I really wanted them because when I was in high school, just up the road from here, back in 97, 96, a friend of mine from from 5th grade, like we were still in high school together, he had like a bunch of these shoes, and I was like, man, I don't know what those things are that he's wearing, but I think that that's pretty cool. So I found out, many moons later, that was a Jordan 12. And so since then, they've just been kind of like stuck in my mind. So when I started buying shoes and then 2016 rolled around, I was kind of like getting better at it. And I saw them release the Jordan 12. I was like, oh, that's one of those ones from school. Like, I'm going to get that, right? Because like they were everywhere, super popular at that time. At least it seemed to be, in my school. So I bought those, right? And I got them in hand and I was like, man, these are awesome. And I remember wearing them down to my mom's house. And my sister was like, oh, let's go to the outlet. And I was like, all right, sure, I'll take you over there. And so like she goes and gets dressed and comes back. And I went and got dressed and come back. Like we both walk in to the room like wearing like the exact same Master 12s. I'm like, oh, you're into those? She's like, yeah. Like I didn't know you were either. I'm like, huh. Sometimes you learn some stuff about yourselves. So going on from that year through 2016, if you recall, a lot of 12s came out that year. Like it was almost like Yeezys nowadays. It's like there's one like every month or every other month. And I bought all of them. I think I got all, not like the special ones like what's that ones with like the owl or the school PSNY. Either way, I didn't get those, but like all the standard ones, I got all those because again, huge fan. So now I'm trying to like please inner Tristan from his younger days and get all those shoes. However, and I know you didn't ask this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm still waiting on those Obsidian 12s. Those are the ones that I really want. All the other ones are just filler. Some of them are nice, but ultimately filler. I know that was a long answer, but I got nothing to do, and you seem like you've got some time to hear it, so there it is. And again, this is the kind of thing where, like, if you ask in a random comment, you're not going to get as much. And Robert Valentine, what's going on, man? How's everything going for you? Appreciate you stopping in. And then Amy, she's laughing at something I said, which could have been anything, because I sometimes notice that, like, I'll say stuff and think nothing of it, and then other people will be like, oh, funny. And I'm like, what did I say? What was I talking about? Then I'm wondering, like, I want to laugh too, but it's like I missed it. You can't repeat the joke because I don't remember the joke. And Damien Bell from Greece, hello to you. And I see Marcus Robinson is a fan of the 12s. Do you have any particular 12s that you like more than others, or any that you do not like? I'll tell you straight up, even though that's the 12, going back just a moment, the 12 is my favorite Jordan model, period. Now, that's not to say that every one of them is amazing, because there is some trash out there, right? You got to be honest. You do, like, especially in this little world, Sometimes people are dependent on you to give them some accurate information, not be misleading. So that's just kind of one of those things that a lot of YouTube folk should do. Not all do, though. So 12s that I don't like. There's a blue suede pair of 12s. If this was Instagram, I'd pick the phone up and I'd walk in there and show them to you. But I'm on a laptop right now, and it's just cumbersome to do that. Shout out to 7 Mary 3. So I do not like those. I bought them because it was 2016 and I was buying all the other ones. And then I saw those and I was like, all right. That's pretty much what it was. I was like, I'm not on board completely, but I've got $190 that says I can do this. So let's do this. And also, I haven't worn them yet, but I'm not sure how I feel about the wool 12s either. The ones that came out right after those, I think they're probably within 2 to 3 months of a release. Here's that Sting figure that I was opening like 3 hours ago. Yeah, there. Now it wants to focus, kind of, sort of. So yeah, and he's wearing his own shirt, which to me is, I get the whole marketing thing, but in some ways that's a little tacky. Like wearing your own merchandise or whatever. And it's like, I put some shirts up online a while ago. They're still up there, if you care. But so I ordered them, just to see like how they looked in person and stuff. I was like, all right, cool. They came out exactly as I designed them. And then I was like, I'm not ever gonna wear these things. It's like, I'm not gonna wear a shirt of me. That seems weird. Like, does that seem weird to anybody out there? But yeah, so like I said, I just wanted to make sure it came out decent, So now it's just like hanging on the back of my door on a hanger with one of those little hanger racks. So I see it like every day, both of them every day. It's like, oh, there's that. Let's see. Master 12s are the best 12s. They are really good. They are really good. The French blue is kind of up there, but one of the ones that seems to have like missed a lot of people, and I'm going to catch up to these in a moment. One of the ones that seems to have missed a lot of people was like a wolf gray and white colorway, right? It was mostly wolf gray, like a light gray, and like the Mudgar stuff was white. Those those are pretty fantastic, right? And I'm not one to oversell things, but something about that combination works so well. So those are definitely like a way thumbs up. Also, even though they look super plain, the Undertaker 12s, the Evil 12s, the ones that are like black and purple, those are really nice, which kind of makes me like I'm still trying to figure out what shoes I'm going to wear to finish out my videos for the year. So I don't know. Like I might have to break out those. Maybe they'll finish up with those Undertaker 12s. Seems like a good way, to retire the whole video thing. But then because he retired recently and he's the Undertaker, so it's connection there. But yeah, those two, like right off the top of my head, stand out as being pretty good. Now, I went back, going back a little bit ago. I said the Obsidian 12 was like really ranks high for me. Yeah, and I stand by that. And I did get those Indigo 12s last year. Yeah, because I remember being at an ice cream parlor. I don't eat ice cream, but that's where I was. And finally, like, managed to, like, secure a pair of the shoes or something like that because the apps were having all kinds of problems. So I was like, okay, these are close in color scheme, but totally missing the mark as far as materials go. So it's one of those things where, like, it's close, but man, is it not close enough. So one of these days, those Indigo 12s hopefully come back. And then there is Homegrown Kicks. Homegrown Kicks, what's going on? Let me know if you want to jump in or something, Every now and then, Homegrown Kicks jumps into my little videos and stuff, But much like the vampires of certain movies or whatever, he only comes in when he's invited, which is only when I post the links. So, hello. And wearing other people's shoes only if they have clean feet. Oh, yeah, okay. Now I remember that. Man, that seems like forever ago. So, yes, definitely that. Random side note here. When it comes to like the extra things that come with my figures, I put them in these Ziploc bags with these fancy little like things at the top because it has these labels on here, right? And so I can label what it is. So I can write like Sting Unmatched Series 2. And then when I go to look for it, I just pull this out and all the stuff is there. So yeah, just a little pro tip. You can get these from Amazon. They're like the Amazon brand, Solimo or something. Yeah, these right here. Get a whole bunch of them for like no money at all, practically. So yeah, I mean, I would suggest them to anyone who needs little bags of things that have like label ability. Let's see. Now now I don't know what it is again. I'm good. Have you set up your PS5? Dude, like it's a little out of the way, but I bought one of those Hue lights recently, right? And I was sharing that with somebody recently. So I bought one of those Hue lights in the sync box to go with like the whole TV thing. And when I did, I figured, okay, now's the time to set up this PlayStation, the PS5. So it sat on the floor for like, oh, this is when Kramer had the game show in his apartment. That's a good one. But yeah, so it sat on my floor for a solid month before I hooked that thing up. And then when I did hook it up, and when I started playing something, you know what I played? Tony Hawk. So I didn't even play like a PS5 game technically, though they do have a free upgrade that takes you to like a PS5 version of it. Unfortunately, you have to like install the PS4 version, load up your PS4 save, do something within the game, like you click on some menu or whatever, and then you install the PS5 version, and then you can pick up from where you left off on the PS4 version. Very unnecessary. Shout out to Salt and Pepper. So let's see. There's that. So yes, I have set it up and I have even played it. And like I said, that Hue thing, just like, it's not for everybody, not gonna lie, but it's cool having the lights on this behind the TV going along with like whatever the TV is displaying in the moment. And it's all automatic, obviously, It's one of those sync boxes. I'll show you the one because I bought one for my parents too. These things aren't super cheap. The box itself, the Sync box, is like $230, I think, and then the lights were like 150. So it's a bit of an endeavor if you really want it. But if you want it, it's something to do. Let's see. Oh man, the International Flight 12. Okay, so story that you didn't ask for, because I'm full of stories that nobody asked for. That's why I've been able to make a year's worth of videos about the shoes that I wear. So, the International Flight 12, right? I really wanted those because it was a 12 and it looks kind of cool, right? From the pictures. So I went down to the mall, Cielo Vista in El Paso, Texas. If anybody's familiar with that mall or the city of El Paso, maybe you know what I'm talking about. So I went down there early-ish in the morning, not crazy early because, I am still somewhat civilized and they are only shoes. But I figured I'll just get there a good like 30, 40 minutes early, just in case there's a rush, I can at least get in and get out. So I get there, it's probably like 9-ish, early 9. The store opens at 10. But they ended up opening up a little early, so I didn't have to wait out there very long, probably like 20, 30 minutes. And since they all know me anyway, it was no big deal, right? They just let me on in and I bought the shoes. I bought the shoes. Nobody else bought the shoes. Sat there forever. And I'm pretty sure, because this was 17? I want to say 17. Either way, they definitely went on sale for sure, because that was the thing shoes were doing back then, Some of you guys might remember that. Even like the Jordans, yeah. So I really wanted them, and I went out of my way to make sure I got them, and it was a completely unnecessary amount of effort. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, MJF, in case anybody's curious.
Nice.
And this is Homegrown Kicks. I was talking about him a second ago. I'm going to pause for a moment and let him say where you can find him and who he is, all that stuff, because, I didn't really introduce him.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Homegrown Kicks, also known as HG. Obviously, by where I'm being viewed right now, you can find me on YouTube at Homegrown Kicks. I do sneaker reviews in full-size runs when I can. I think my next full-size run review will be of the cool gray Jordan 11s. I know that's a sore subject for a lot of people, and then some people just don't care, but that's okay. I'm here to give you a look into what you might potentially buy in the future. As far as my other outlets, I'm on Instagram quite often. I go live on there pretty frequently. I have a TikTok. I'm not really active on TikTok. It's kind of stupid, but it's kind of fun at the same time. It's one of those things. It eventually happens. I've got a Twitter where I've started to do podcasts, which is pretty cool because Twitter gives you an opportunity to interact with the host and other people without actually showing your face. So it gives you a voice. And if you all want to go check that out and be a part of the podcast, please be my guest. I call it the Sneaker Closet. What else am I active on? I think that's it, except for within my own personal life. I'm active in my own personal life at work. I hope you all are too, because we got to make money somehow to pay for these expensive endeavors. I collect figures as well. I haven't done any reviews on my figures, but, never say never.
Mute myself because I was tearing into this box earlier, so I didn't want to have all kinds of noise. Wardlow, he's not in the box anymore though. But yes, so appreciate that. So basically, Homegrown's doing a lot of things. If you didn't catch on to that,
right?
So
exactly.
If you're not into all of the things, you're probably still going to be at least into one of the things. So just pick one and do that. And more than likely, sooner or later, you'll probably just branch out to the other ones anyway. So you could just take them all in from the start. But, do you. If you need to start with the baby steps, I totally get it. I'm sure he understands too. So he's not going to hold it against you, right?
Absolutely not.
All right, fantastic. And he says, Homegrown says, wear your own merch. And to that, I say, I've already said my stance on that.
Right.
Because it just feels weird. Well, I can't even say that it feels weird. I just say that it seems like it would feel weird.
Well, you know what? I'm already a walking billboard for your stuff. But I mean, why not be your own walking billboard? So when somebody says, "Hey, that's a cool T-shirt," because
Nah,
it most definitely is, you can say, "Hey, go to this website, buy my shirt, and support the cause."
so right now, for the first and only time, more than likely, I'll do the quick plug on the shirts. ProWrestlingTees.com/shoes up, sleeves down.
Yay!
Every other time. Actually, you know what? Yeah, because like in my videos, when I bought the shirts, I didn't plug them. I just like, oh, and here's a shirt says shoes up, sleeves down on it. So that's
Right.
kind of
Yes,
cool,
that's
black and
exactly
yellow.
what you did.
And then I tossed it to the side as if it was
Right.
just like a Hulk Hogan shirt. Like, yeah, here, the Hulkster, red and yellow, cool things. And then I just tossed it to the side. And some people, like homegrown, were like, wait, what? Wait, what? And now he owns one. So definitely
Exactly.
thanks for that. I do appreciate it.
When I saw him just callously, casually toss it to the side and not really mention anything about it, I'm like, wait, hold on, hold the phone. You're not gonna act like you didn't just drop a sneak preview of some merch that's already available and not mention it.
And but if you think about it, right? If you sit back and think about like me and how I tend to be when it comes to things, that was probably exactly what you would have expected that I would do.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and I have plugged it a couple other times, but like in some Pro Wrestling Tees unboxings I did, like I think there was a Black Friday sale, and I used the same exact clip and same exact caption twice because I just copied from one project to another. And it's like I said, oh, blah, blah, Pro Wrestling Tees. And then a picture of Homegrown Kicks pops up and it says, he also shops at Pro Wrestling Tees. So that was the other extent of my plugging that stuff. Because again, I'm just not good about it. I'm going to answer this question though, real quick. Wolf Grade 12s are my fave, but I missed out. Love the original black and white and Obsidian. Do not like the black and red. I don't know what it is. Well, I do have a bit of a I don't know, bitterness towards some black and red things. I made a video about that. If you saw what was I talking about that day? The no vacancy, nice kicks, and Adidas collab Ultra Boost. I was talking about how I was wronged in some ways, going back to like '98 with an NWO Wolfpack shirt. So I have some mixed feelings about black and red things. There's a lot of deep rooted stuff if you like pay attention to like people's lives once in a while. But anyways, so yes, the black and the red. I think it's I think it's a fine color combination. I don't think there's
Yeah,
anything wrong with it. It
yeah,
works. I think it does get a little more attention than it probably should
yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't think it's like amazing. But again, it's all personal preferences.
Exactly. Like
Homegrown
I think the black and red, I think the bread 12s are nice,
from
but
Brazil.
if it comes to, oh wow, that's really good. It's a really good sculpt.
Actually, yeah. Real quick though, before yeah, I was saying that before. Like that head, like combined with like what she's supposed to look like or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
really hard to find good female sculpts, and that's a really good sculpt.
yeah they did a great job on this one. Go
But
on.
yeah, compared to other Jordan 12s, there are a lot of other better Jordan 12s, like this one, for instance. I just cleaned these today. I wear these all the time, but I don't know what they're called. These dropped like in 2016, and
Yeah.
nobody wanted them.
Yeah, those
Nobody
ones I was
liked
just
them.
talking about. See, he bought them too.
Um, and everybody was calling them bricks, and they dropped the same day with the Gym Red Jordan 12s. And I bought both pair, and I just felt like the king of the hill or whatever the reference is to being on top of the world, some Titanic, whatever they say, whatever. But I just thought I was the man until my good friend that got me back into buying Jordans was like, nobody wants those. And then I was like, oh, well, I wanted them. So, I mean, that's all that really matters. But yes, I wear these. The bottoms aren't very dirty, but I wear them a lot compared to all of my other stuff. But really good colorway.
So the whole muting thing. You know, there's a shortcut button for it. I forget what it is. Probably M. But anyways, so those right there, yeah, I was a big fan of them. I bought them like the day they came out. I think that for some reason, I feel like I have some Hirachis in a very similar color, but I have a lot of Hirachis, so that probably wouldn't really surprise anybody. But the thing is, with those, when I bought those, you know, nobody cared, like you said. But nowadays, whenever I pull them out, like they get all kinds of like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I wish I would have got those. Oh man, like I can't believe I missed them. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Right? Except for from you, obviously.
Right.
So everybody else is doing what he said, and there she is again. So yeah, this
Oh
came out.
wow.
Yeah, crazy, right? And the articulation on these is good. You can't really hear it because of the way this camera is, but
It's got ratchet joints.
yeah, each got like
Nice.
the double jointed elbows and all that stuff. You know, they have like the foot articulation as well. So these,
Wow.
yeah, these things they go all out on these. So I'm going to start getting back into doing some of the more not as in depth as my past figure videos, but definitely more close-ups of the actual figures. So this one I just recorded yesterday, maybe, or the day before. I don't know. I recorded it at some point recently. So
Sure.
now I'm getting everything open, and I'll take the other pictures tomorrow because, as you may know, my videos usually come with a lot of pictures.
Right. Right. So I bought this figure, and I'm not gonna open it just yet because it's gonna create another mess that I don't want to get into. But I bought this figure, and I know it's gonna be a problem because it's Hasbro, and y'all, if you know Hasbro, Hasbro does like the build a figure line, and my OCD is gonna make me collect every single one of them, even if it's one or two that I don't want, just to get this big ridiculous figure. But
Yeah,
I
I'm.
bought it because I wanted free shipping from
Oh
Target.
yeah.
So, and I thought this was like a really cool figure to grab, and it is the Marvel Hasbro Gamerverse Miles Morales, and I just, man, that's just really a really nice figure,
Was it?
and it's Miles Morales from the Gamerverse, I guess, Spider-Man Gamerverse.
Is that one of those available everywhere, or like only at GameStop, or only at Target, or one of those things?
Um, when I got it, it was a pre-order that was only available at Target. I
Okay.
have not seen this in store as of yet, but I'm pretty sure they're starting to roll these out in local areas. And then it makes this big, interesting, huge
Oh, that one.
armadillo guy.
That's yeah. I kind of want that set too. I saw
Yeah,
J. Jonah Jameson, I think, at the store.
right. That was another figure that makes me want to go back and kind of
Like
finish
Moreland, I think
this
that's
set.
the second guy on the left, second guy on the right, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I mistakenly ordered. Let me see the arrangement of my hands. This lady right here.
Is
I
that
think so
Shriek?
that I could get free shipping on Target again because holiday stuff and
Right.
all that stuff for people. But I really want that figure because she's got a good sculpt. I want this guy here because I remember him from the cartoon, and I want J. Jonah Jameson.
Right.
Um, because I don't think they've ever done a J. Jonah Jameson figure. Now that I think about it,
I saw some news about some upcoming figures of like all kinds of people that they haven't done. Like, so I'll have to have that link open later. I'll have to look.
right?
But
And,
speaking of like Facebooks, I don't think I could show them all earlier, but these two both came out very nice too.
mm,
The Proud and Powerful, Santano and
wow,
Ortiz.
they look good. They
Yeah,
look good, especially the overalls and stuff like that. Wow.
yeah, I'm telling you, like they did a great job with these. And then I think I showed you this thing. I don't know if you were.
Yeah, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
That was when I said it came out really good.
And so, real quick, I'm going to answer this question. What do you think of the MJF and CM Punk promo? I think the first round one was solid. Like giving them like the ample time they needed to just kind of do that was great. The way they executed that and everything, as far as like the build up, perfect. And then they're still keeping them somewhat separated. But real quick, the next round of things, and I don't know if how long I'll be on here or whatever, but the next round of things that I'll be doing, because since Homegrown Kicks kind of brought it up. It's a Build-A-Figure set. So
I wanted that. I wanted
yeah.
that one, but I was just like, do I like the rest of them in the set enough to want it?
Lady Deathstrike, the Red Skull.
Oh, you went and bought the full set.
The Dormammu, however that's pronounced. The Hood, right? Gotta have the Hood because he's part of the thing.
Right.
Doctor Doom, which is the one I wanted the most originally, who doesn't even have one of the figures pieces. See that?
I thought, yeah, I don't know why they do that. It's like one or two figures that don't really matter.
But he's the one that I actually wanted the most, honestly. You got the AIM scientist over here.
That's weird. I don't even know who that character is.
Neither do I. And this one, when I was looking at these earlier today, or whenever it was that I did the unboxing, this one is actually kind of the one I might like the most.
I was gonna say, isn't that a vintage villain? I like.
Yeah, arcade. It's just very well done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just like the way he is. So, but yeah, Lady Deathstrike and Doom were the ones that really brought me into getting that series.
Yeah.
But the other ones were cool. You know, like the Hood was an interesting character. Can't really go wrong with Red Skull. That AIM scientist, I don't know anything about. But yeah.
And then like I saw Doctor Strange on the back of this one, and I wanted Doctor Strange. And then I got on HasbroPost.com, and they've got Doctor Strange figures included in at least 4 different Build-A-Figure sets.
Yeah, because they have that whole multiverse of madness thing coming around, so they're kind of cashing in on that.
Yeah.
So some of the figures are like the What If. Did you watch the What If?
I watched some of it.
Okay, well, there was 2 episodes with him in it, I think.
Yeah.
But, so either way, like they're cashing in on that. There's also like because he was in the Spider-Man movie, so there's that one. So yeah, they're definitely like using everything to their advantage. But going back real quick, talking about this for a second to you. So I was going to buy these from Big Bad Toy Store, which I'm sure you're aware of.
Yeah.
But Amazon had them all, and they were all under retail just a little bit.
Nice.
And with free shipping from Amazon, because the whole Prime thing,
right?
Kind of made it a no-brainer. So I want to say it was like
absolutely.
It was like $130 altogether shipped for them.
That's a real good deal. I might look on Amazon for the last.
Yeah, so if they have,
I'm gonna avoid the one that I don't have to buy, which is probably the second best Spider-Man. But yeah, I just want to open this one so bad, but I don't want to open it until I get like all of them and I can just put that figure together, because I don't want some kind of random leg sitting somewhere and then get lost.
I definitely know the feeling, like, but it is nice to get things open. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, it is kind of nice to get stuff open. And now that I have a new shelf, I can actually display a lot of the stuff that I have. So I'm thinking, and now that I've cleaned off my TV stand thing, I'm thinking I might dedicate a lot of that to the Marvel Legends series, because I've been picking up a good number of those. And it's just, I don't see that stopping. So
yeah.
Which is why I didn't want to get into it, because once you do, it's bad enough. I already had like the nostalgia of being like really into comics when I was younger.
Right.
So now it's just it's a mess. Scut9, I remember you because I remember thinking your name said slut. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I remember that line.
You saw Spider-Man. Oh, hey, nice. Without spoiling anything for anybody, what did you think of the Spider-Man movie? I thought it was pretty solid.
Nice. I'm gonna have to see it. I have not seen that.
Oh, yeah, I saw it on Thursday. Oh, he also saw it on Thursday. Yeah, I went to the showings around here started at 3 p.m. on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then it was like all day, like from Friday on. So I left work early so that I could see it, because I can do that, I guess. I don't know. So,
absolutely.
So I went over there, just wanted to make sure I got it, because I also wanted to see like the Dolby Digital. And over here in our AMC theater, there's like a bunch of different theater rooms or whatever. And that's like the best one for picture. So I wanted to make sure I saw it in that one, and I wanted to see it like that day so I could avoid any spoilers. So I was cool with it. And I would say before watching this one, number 2 was my favorite, the one with Mysterio.
Yeah.
But this one, I mean, again, not getting into too many things, but for one, like just the stuff that happened in it, I was super on board with it because it was like entertaining. And then the fallout of it
Yeah.
also seems pretty cool because when I went to Comic Con in 2018, 19, when I went to Comic Con in 2019 and they gave the whole layout of all the movies coming up over the next however long, the Multiverse of Madness was the one that really caught my attention. But then as we started to get closer to it, I was kind of wondering, how is this going to, what's going to feed into this? How is this going
Right.
to become a thing that even isn't out of place? But when you look at that movie, which I would assume that the trailers alone have probably given enough away, but I'm going to not get into it. But between the trailers of that and the everything of WandaVision towards the end anyway, then I was like, okay, now I get it. So then when you look at it now, it's like, okay, now I'm just curious, like, what's going to happen here?
You know, like Spider-Man is such a sore subject for me because Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters in a long list of like Marvel characters. And the fact that they've redone it like 3 times really, really leaves a scab on my back that won't go away, so to speak. But and then the way that they kind of incorporated Venom, but then went a completely different direction with Venom, that was kind of annoying as well. Um, so it kind of left me confused, and a lot of times Spider-Man is really hard to keep up with. And then the fact that they're not going to do Spider-Man again with the 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 Holland kid, I think that's his name. Um, that's really frustrating. It's like getting into a really good show on Netflix to find out they canceled it 2.5 seasons in. It's it just kind of ruins it for me. But also, I didn't know that Zendaya and Holland were actually dating for real, and that she was really worried about the height difference within the movie.
Gotta stop doing that. I did not know that about them because I don't follow. I barely like pay attention to my life, so paying attention to like, other people's lives is like not happening. So I didn't know that. I also
Oddly
didn't know
enough,
that this was the last movie with him. But
yeah,
okay.
oddly enough, it pops up on my Google feed, my Google News feed, and like I get some of the most random things that pop up on there, and I was just like, huh, really? That's interesting.
But I mean, I guess, and again, without getting into things, I know there was just a comment saying something about it being ruined for him. Where did I just put all those bags I took out of here? I have no idea. I just took out like 7 bags and lost all of them. Nope, here they are. But so yeah, looking at that, like at the end of it, I guess I can see how there isn't any more of that. But uh, I'm just gonna assume that they'll just do another Spider-Man in a while with somebody else, and it'll be like some standalone thing or something.
And see, that's so terrible. That's what I just hate about the way they've been doing it. Unless they do a Miles Morales, then I will be okay. I'll still be a little butthurt, but I'll be okay.
And this is a nice cape on here. Not to,
Oh, wow.
but it's just like the texture of it. It feels weird. Like I don't know. It doesn't feel a lot different from like the toe box on this Shell Light 3, which is weird. But yeah. So also going back to this comment here, I saw that was free on the PlayStation Plus thing. Did I down? I know I added it to my library, but I haven't played it yet. I haven't played a Lego game in a while, but I think the last one I played might have been Lego Batman. So it was like years ago. But I've always liked the little bits of the ones that I have played, so
I'm
I might
gonna
have to jump on that one later.
I'm gonna download that and play that.
When she says movie was okay, hmm, there we go. It's tough to please some people. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that the. I'm sure if you pay enough attention, there's probably like some reasons to dislike. Maybe there's probably some plot holes, like stuff that overall maybe just didn't make sense. But it's kind of like for me, it's easy-ish to just to suspend my disbelief of things and just kind of go with it in the moment because I'm a wrestling fan, and if you can't do that as a wrestling fan,
Right.
like,
Right.
I
Absolutely.
mean, I mean, unless you just think it's still all like actually 100% real deal going down. Okay, sure. I don't mean to ruin the magic for you, but if you're an adult watching that stuff, it's a little different.
I
So
think I think I was a teenager when I realized wrestling was fake. Uh, Maybe like a year after I really got into it, and I was like, yeah, this is not adding up. But um, I also picked one of these up for for people who are fans of like Japanese anime and old Japanese cartoons. I picked up a Gundam model kit. I love putting together model kits because I love putting together like Legos as a kid, and it kind of like bridges the gap between my childhood and my adulthood. Um, so I picked up a couple of these actually, and they're kind of expensive, but they put together really nicely. So there's like a diagram of kind of what everything is going on, and like the blades are actually chrome blades, and then it's got like this little exoskeleton frame that like this is the first time I'm seeing that, and that's pretty cool. And they've got like upgrade pieces that you can buy and attach to them and all that good stuff. But yeah, those are pretty dope if you've never seen those before or plan on checking them out. And then I bought one of these to encapsulate my model in. I found it at Target for like $2.50. And it's like a really good protective case for something that you don't want to get damaged. What are these called?
I
Plastic
wrong button.
thingamajiggers, whatever that word is at the bottom.
It
There you
looks
go.
like clock, but like maybe it's
Right.
cloak. I have no idea. I've never seen that word before.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. You type it in on Amazon and a bunch of them come up.
Hmm. Man, like, did I not do this all the way? Yeah, that was not an easy one to get into for some reason. So he says YouTube ruined Spider-Man and No Way Home for me. Yeah, that was again part of the reason behind me going and seeing it as soon as it was available to be seen because I just couldn't see how it wouldn't get around to me. Like, I don't really go into a lot of places on the internet. Like, outside of pro wrestling tees, ringside collectibles, Amazon, and my Gmail account, I don't really do much. And then, the YouTube thing, but the YouTube thing, my feed is very streamlined into like one direction, like one very solid with no deviation minus Jim Cornette. So I wasn't too concerned about that, but it's just the fact that like on my news feed, like within when I'm watching like or when I'm opening my Google thing on the phone, then it'll like sometimes tell me like random things. It'll be like, oh, check out the new Android 12 running on the Shield, and I'm like, because that's the thing I'm into. But then it'll say so and so does this in Spider-Man, and I'll be like, wait, what? Like, you couldn't have just like not said that, or you didn't have to put this big old picture in there. So that, yeah, I can definitely see where people get bothered with things like that. Because I used to do the same thing with like UFC or whatever. Because in the past, I would watch. I was into different things through in and out of things over my life or whatever. And so sometimes, if you know that something is going to be spoilery, like back in the olden days when I used to use like Facebook and stuff, I would go into my router and I would block Facebook. So that way, if I happen to like go there because I'm bored, it would be like access denied screen. And I'm like, oh, right. 'Cause I haven't watched that thing yet. So I just kind of like put the blinders on for myself. Cause sometimes you just get into your habits of just going to random things
Right,
and
right.
you're like, you don't want to all the time because you're going to walk into it. And the first thing up there is going to be that one person who saw whatever it was as soon as it happened. It's like, oh man, I can't believe Frank mirrored it. It's like,
Yeah, I forgot about the era of Facebook spoilers. I forgot completely about that.
is that not a thing anymore, or do you not know?
Um, I don't honestly, I don't know if it's a thing anymore because I don't get on Facebook like that.
Okay. Yeah, because I know it seems to be like somewhat of a decline. Well, maybe it's just like the people I talk to that just don't talk about it. But it seems overall like people are not really doing that like they did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
think so because like Facebook is full of ads and Facebook has made it harder to be socially active, and then like they give you all of these stupid suggestions of people you don't know. And I think people have gotten really tired of it, and then Facebook, for whatever reason, decided to try to be like Instagram and Twitter, which doesn't make sense because you already have an Instagram and a Twitter.
but like, don't they own Instagram technically or something?
Yeah,
But
Facebook
like,
is
why try to be like the thing that you? Because like, didn't and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought like Google owned Waze, so it's like there's no reason to turn Google Maps into Waze because people that are into one of them are already probably like into that experience. So you just,
right,
even though they're doing similar things, they're doing it in different ways, and those ways probably speak to those users, right?
right,
So
right.
just leave it separate, and I mean, they're still all using your stuff anyway, so just leave it alone, right?
Right, because it's kind of how like Google owns YouTube, and Google decided to get rid of Google Play and streamline it into YouTube Music, and I
Man,
was not a huge fan of that.
I'm not either. Like, I I use YouTube Music sometimes, like because like sometimes at work, like certain, it's like getting some things to like work right. Sometimes it's cumbersome because like these old computers or whatever.
Right,
But and that web page seems to work consistently. I don't like the experience, but it at least works. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So like,
right.
I get something over silence, and so it's I'm gonna take that. It's like, okay, I can't complain if there's something that I can do.
I think
So
the like, and I think I had like Google. I forgot what it was called, but I had like the paid Google service, and when they streamlined everything, I think the only plus that came out of it was that it automatically gave you YouTube Premium, and so you end up with like
yeah,
YouTube movies and stuff like that. But I don't use YouTube
and
movies or whatever it is, YouTube TV or whatever.
and that's how I felt because like I jumped on Google Play Music when it first came out in
Yeah,
2013 or 14, one of the two, because I remember I was living in England at the time. So I got it because they said if you jump on it now, we're doing like this promotion of like 7.99 a month.
yes,
And
yeah,
so if you do
yeah,
that, you're going to be grandfathered into it as long as you don't change your account tier. So I was like, all right, cool. So I just jumped in, and that was the end of it. And I was cool with it. I liked the Google Play Music thing. It worked out pretty well for me. And then it went away, and like they brought up this, I think it was like called like YouTube Red at the time, something like
yeah,
that. But like
yeah.
the no ads, and so for me at the time, I didn't watch YouTube. Like I just didn't think that there was anything there for me.
Right.
So I didn't even know for a long time that there were ads on YouTube. So then when I would go and watch it, I later on anyways, like I didn't see them. So it was that went on for a while because like people were like, yeah, I don't like watching stuff on YouTube because like there's ads. I'm like, huh, never seen any of those. Maybe I don't watch them.
Right, right.
You know, so I didn't even think anything of it. I figured like it's just not a thing that I'm going to encounter. And sure enough, obviously now I know a little bit more about ads, which is, to be fair, I still only know so much because, yeah, like it does affect like your ad revenue, obviously, but even that is not a cut and dry experience. That's the
Right.
kind of thing that takes like a lot of looking at things to figure out. It's not just like, oh well, if I make a video, like how much money am I going to make? Like, well, how much time do you have? Because you got to look at like, okay, you have the types of ads that are going to be seen on your video, which isn't the same. I can put up I can put up 2 Gel Light 3 videos of different colors or whatever, and they be watched by all the same people and them have different experiences,
Right.
So someone might get some 5-minute video at the end, someone, or maybe not at the end. Are there videos? I don't know. Either way, someone might see some 5-minute ad, someone might see none.
That's crazy.
I know, like, and with mine, like, I always put my ads at the same points, and like you can tell when they're coming if you've paid attention, anyways. So sometimes people get them, sometimes they don't, right? And depending on what kind of ad it is, people might skip it, which I totally understand. I'd skip it too if I was you. And this is so weird to me. Like,
I think my experience with YouTube ads,
say that again.
It's been so long since I've actually seen a YouTube ad. I forgot that they were even a thing, to be honest with you, until I started like recording videos and stuff like that. Because like I said, I've had like the Google Play for so long. He gave me like YouTube Premium, which is probably the only plus of having YouTube Premium, that you don't have to see the ads. And you also know that even if you don't watch the ads, the people's videos you watch, they get a small cut of not having to watch the ads. But
have you ever seen? Well, have you ever seen how small of a cut that is? It is like the percentage that you get for seeing like for me when I look at like my ad revenue thing, like when it comes to pull this up because like it one of those things where like the answer may surprise you. Yeah, you might just be like, wait a second, is that really it? Is that like they may as well not give me anything, and I'd be fine.
right.
So let me gonna dig through this here YouTube studio thing so I can see where that is because I kind of forget where stuff is because it's a little confusing at times. It should be under the revenue tab, and that would be the thing that makes sense. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So I'll do a quick screen share here since, why not? Just let me turn off this comment, otherwise it'll block some things. Share screen, looking for a tab, Google Analytics. So, what was that? Was someone asking a question? Can I show that Doom thing? I'm going to show all the figures from this set in like 2 or 3 minutes. So just give me a moment. So right there in the middle area, see revenue source last 28 days, ad revenue 302, YouTube Premium revenue $3. Yeah, it is a slap in the face.
That's got to be a tenth of a penny.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Like I get it, like because they don't have ads. So why would I get anything out of that?
Right.
But you would think that it'd be different.
Right.
But no. So now you've seen it. Like that's the rough estimate.
Like in my mind, I would think that when somebody who has YouTube Premium would hit the point of where somebody's ad would pop up, I would think they would at least give a dime. because like these people are paying a premium not to see an ad. I don't get it.
Yeah, but I don't think it really says on there and they give you estimates of like what you make, like just per 1,000 views and per this. But again, it fluctuates so much that there's almost no point to looking at it other than
Right.
it's consistent or going up, right? So if my November looks different than December, hopefully it's different in the right direction. And that's all I take from that stuff. But it is so strange to me the way they do that. And let me put this. So yeah, so I'm like I said, I've got one more. Once I get these last two completely open, Lady Deathstrike and this Red Skull, then I'm going to show them all off. So that way you can get that up close shot. And then the actual video for these will probably not be for a while. So that's why I'm going to do all this now. So that way you can just see it in the moment. And then, because I'm going to get all my stuff, all my pictures together and all that crap. But the next time I sit down and actually edit, comes with like the Tesseract. So next time I sit down and edit will probably be while I'm at my mom's house.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Because I'm gonna set up some stuff for them.
The world needs a day in the life vlog of shoes up, sleeves down.
No, you don't. It is. I can tell you, like, was it yesterday and today? It consisted of waking up and recording. No, I think I woke up and I took a lot of pictures and videos for things that I had just recorded. And then I recorded new reviews. And then then last night I edited the Pro Wrestling Crate, and what else went up today? The Ultra Boost 22 video, did those last night. Then I went to sleep and I woke up. I adjusted some playlist settings for the Kicks of the Day videos that went up because those start at like 5:30 in the morning because that's just how I am. I schedule everything. And then I took a bunch of pictures for videos from yesterday. I did a cool gray 11 on feet for a video I recorded like 2 weeks ago. And then I recorded more videos. And then I took more pictures for those videos. So I have been on it today. Like basically like whatever video that you see between later this week and probably what hasn't arrived. The Yeezy 450 resin will be something that was shot and all that stuff over the last like 3 days.
Man, you should probably you should do a time lapse of that and then like showing you edit and stuff like that so that people can get an actual visual representation of the process instead of like hearing the process, because hearing the process is still interesting, but seeing it, that's where the magic happens. And then like seeing shoes up going to the office and seeing the coworkers' reactions to the particular shoes that he's got on the day.
that would be a little much, because like there have been like some random people that have like asked me like, because like they'll say like, hey, because they won't know me because like they have no reason to know me, but we all work in the same building. It's just like we're doing different stuff. And they're like, so you seem like you have a lot of shoes. I'm like, yeah, I got a few. I'm like, so like what, like 15? I'm like, yeah, something like that.
If you only knew.
But yeah.
1,500,
But I mean, I can show people.
Then, like when you go on the trails and all those weird animals that seem to love you, that would be really funny. That would be hilarious.
But I mean, let me pull up. What was the last one that I fully edited? The Magic Gray Ultra Boost 22. I mean, in a second here, I'll show the timeline, like from Premiere, and then people can see what all goes into that. So that Death Strike looks like the OG one from L6 with the articulation. I've heard that the articulation has gotten crazy on these things. I wasn't buying these figures back then, but I've heard some good stuff. Live action Miles Morales movie, huh? That could be interesting.
Ooh, okay.
So, but real quick, let me go back to, because he wanted to see I'll show you the Doom figure first, and then I'll go through all the other guys. So hopefully so here's the Doom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I wish it would like focus better. I'm not sure where it needs to be in here to focus, but it is a very nice looking figure. And like I was saying, like the texture on this, you can't see it, but it's got a nice feeling texture on this cloak of his, and this looks really nice all around. So I am cool with this.
Jeez.
I feel
that's crazy.
And he has a pistol, which I assume is more than just a normal gun. This is from, actually, what is this from? Does it say? Because the other one that I have after this one is Age of Apocalypse. I don't know what. That's not even his. Yeah, I threw the box not in the garbage because that's far away. But let me see. It doesn't say on here. It just says a quick thing just about Doom in general. So I'm not sure where this like white power Doom came from, but here he is. So, and his little cloak and all that stuff. Very cool though.
What's his name?
What did I say? Sometimes it's like things slip out there. And
you said white power Doom?
I mean, that's not his real name on the box, but
Oh, I was
gonna come on, man.
I was gonna say, oh my goodness.
Then you have the Red Skull here. Looking pretty good.
He looks really sinister.
It's God Doom. God King Doom. Okay, I remember seeing God Doom somewhere. And then the Lady Deathstrike. So this one's looking.
That's probably the best Lady Deathstrike I've seen.
Yeah, I'm really like. I mean, her hands don't look as strangely big as like certain of the comic book cards and stuff. But
right.
All in all, though, I think it looks proportionally good. So
because I've always wanted a Lady Deathstrike with like, I guess maybe like 1:1 scale to the cartoon from back in the early 90s. Because like the original Lady Deathstrike figure from that cartoon, she had like regular hands, and I'm like, that's not Lady Deathstrike.
No, like she's known for like having those big man hands, like I said in the video that you haven't seen yet because it's only on my computer. And then this cloak, obviously comes off and then it can just kind of do its own thing. But there's the cloak there.
Who does that remind me of? I think that cloak reminds me of like a Spawn figure or something like that.
Oh yeah, he did have a crazy cloak though. And then by himself, he just looks like some mad dude that's just yelling. Maybe he's like in a Screamo band or something. And trust me, I've seen a lot of Screamo bands in my years. So a lot of them at the Masquerade, actually.
That's crazy.
This one.
I wonder what it looks like with a light shining through its head.
This one I really like the visual of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one and this is why I should not have bought these figures. Because
I really like that. I really like that guy.
Look at these like crazy shoes he has on. These like those Adidas Superstar Box. So yeah, crazy, right? Yeah, his cloak reminds me of Moon Knight. Oh yeah, yes, it is. It's an AIM Scientist Supreme or AIM Supreme Scientist, something like that. I can't remember the exact name because I threw the box wherever. Because you may have seen I was just throwing boxes to the side. I'll clean it up eventually. But yeah, these said Red Skull 11. Man, yeah, these are looking very nice though. And then isn't there a Moon Knight I think it's coming to Disney Plus, right? Is it a series for Moon Knight?
Maybe I still haven't seen Hawk, so I need to
I
watch that.
I'm gonna watch the last episode of Hawkeye tonight because they slipped a little piece in there at the end of the second to last episode that because this morning I was like, oh, I can't watch this right now. I need to take a minute. I'm gonna come back to it later. So I figured let me go and do my video crap for the day, and then I'll get to this. And then as I was doing stuff earlier, I was like, man, I haven't gone live in a while, and I probably won't have the time to do it for another while. So let me do that instead. And then
I did. Let me
it
see.
looks like
I recorded 3 videos today.
so. Did I get that?
Real estate to sneakerheads at cons.
Is that the okay? Cool. So we'll just go through here real quick. Like I said, I was going to share my screen for a moment since you were talking about Moon Knight live actions coming out next year on Disney Plus. Okay, nice. Because I remember taking a picture of like the screen of the screen when they were showing like the timeline at the Comic-Con, you know. But so many things have changed that that timeline is not valid, other than to know what is happening. But real quick, just give a because I forget why, but we were talking about like the videos or something like that. So this is
Ooh, I like the toe box.
This is Adobe Premiere, whatever the latest version is, which is kind of crap because it broke the auto adjust feature when it comes to setting your colors and stuff.
Oh yeah, Premiere Pro is the update is garbage. I hate it.
Like all this stuff over here, like you can still edit it yourself, and if you can also roll back to the previous version.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I usually like hit the auto button, and then I'll just kind of adjust from there. So let me just turn that off for a second. So then when you look at it, you turn it off, it's not good. And I have a lot of videos up there that have that look because I never thought to change it. But then I read some things, watched some things, and so now when you watch them, they do look a little bit better. So the screen here is a little dark, so it might look a little darker, but when it goes online, it usually looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
But either way, getting that stuff back on there, as you see over here, it's just like all this stuff. You got the actual clip, you got the on feet, the one shot, the swoop around shot, and then all the stuff that you see when you see my videos, all the crap that just goes into them. I think I haven't pulled this one up in a little while, so it's kind of recaching all the images there. And then you get the last couple shots and then some random things because for some reason it was relevant to show off a Jordan 12 clip. because the green pair feels like these. That's what that was. And then if I refer to a video, I usually throw in a picture from the thumbnail or whatever. So that's in there somewhere. I get these little marker things at the top so I know where I need to put my little like cards for the different videos or whatever. So if I'm mentioning homegrown, like I'm gonna put a little marker in there so I remember to throw in a homegrown link. But the ones that are in the actual video, these are different. They're either so this one would likely be where the review starts because I can notice like based off of this space here, that's when I say review over this right here, the Adidas Ultra Boost 22 in the magic gray colorway. Pause for an ad clip, right? And then this is probably just some joke that I might use as a clip for later.
That is extremely detailed, extreme line.
Same thing over here. And then this is the clip where I will leave a bit of a pause in there so I can add another ad before the 6 shots that comprise my personal thoughts, and then one more ad break right before the on feet. So that's how that goes. And then here's just some things that I kind of forgot to mention through the video, but I knew I wanted to, so I just slipped those in towards the end. And then you have the on feet thing, and that second verse, same as the first, you do the adjustments so that way it doesn't look too bad when you actually see it on the real screen. And zooming in just a little bit, those clips that you see in there, and this might help some people if they're actually content makers other than yourself. So the clips that you see in there, right? those are the three main frames of these clips, right? So the first one is when I first move my feet, so I know where to start. Because, like, I'll sit the camera down, I'll hit record, and then I'll hit stop when I walk off the screen.
Right.
So, but when I'm editing, I need to know where to lock it in, so that way I can kind of time that up with somewhat along with when the words start, right? So the clip starts, the words start, it fades in, and then it's like, yeah, cool, got it. So then the cropping part is where this one comes in and where that one comes in. That is the point where the shoe is at the highest in the clip. This is where it's at like the furthest to the left, right? So if you were to look to the right of the screen, there's a mark on the wall, and that is, I think I bumped something on the wall once and it left like a scuff mark on there. But I use it as my marker so I know how wide to zoom in. Because once that's off the screen, everything else is like pretty much like right in where it needs to be.
That is an amazing coincidence.
So now, like, I look at how far to the left I deviate from from where I stand.
Right.
And then I just kind of base it all off of that. So then as you go through the video, you see it's all pretty much like right there in that same range, right? And then eventually I walk away and do that little swoopy view. And sometimes you get a little clip of what else is to come. So you got that bait box and you got those 991s. So,
I noticed that a while ago.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going crazy.
So there you go. Little Easter eggs and stuff in there, if you want to call it that, to kind of say what's going on with the videos as I make them. But overall, the main thing is that, like what we were getting at earlier, what Homegrown Kicks was talking about, is that this clip, let's see, bring that to the beginning here, move this thing out of the way. As you see, the pink part is all pictures. The blue bar at the bottom is all video, like the original video. Most of my video is covered with pictures. So it's mostly a slideshow with a voiceover for the most part. But, the reason I do it like that is because it overshadows the fact that my camera is so far from me when I do these. Because if I did these as I did them in the past, you would have no real idea what I'm talking about. Like it's true, like, because I sit far, as you can see, I sit far from the thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Over here is like this clip where I was saying, like, I said something in the video about how I was going to do a comparison, and I didn't actually do the comparison like beforehand. I was just kind of just do it on the fly and hope that I hit everything as I'm looking at the shoes. So if you watch the review like that, like with that in mind, you'll see when I'm like looking at stuff and just trying to see like what's different here, and then talk about it. So it does add a bit of an extra challenge to the review because you're not really super in the know on what you're about to say.
Right.
Which is why so many of my things sounds like it's just some random comment that I make, because I don't know where these things are going to go until I actually start speaking. And there you go. We'll stop that there.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, so it's an interesting little endeavor.
I think I've recorded 3 videos today. I'm gonna have to hustle and bustle to get the on foot portion out and then do the editing for at least 2 of them. I know I've got videos that I've recorded weeks and months ago that either have yet to be dropped, edited, or finished. Because like shoes cycle so quickly, that I just said that, eventually I will get to them. What I've noticed is, like, how many videos have I dropped now? I think I've dropped like 2 or 3 videos, maybe 2. I think 3 is being generous. But the video I did where I was telling people why they didn't get the cool gray 11s has done so much better than just like a regular review. It's insane. Like, I've gotten probably 10 times more comments, and like a ton of more views. Just I don't know. I watched some video where they were saying use keywords to make people want to know why, or make people want to figure out what exactly you're talking about. And I guess telling people in a sense, hey, you didn't get this shoe. And let me obviously tell you why you didn't get the shoe. I guess they enjoy that more than actually seeing the shoe and thinking, okay, I don't have it, but looking at this, I like it. So boogity, boogity, boogity. So I'm gonna actually try and get it now, which I don't know. It's psychologically interesting, but that part is wow, that's a really nice figure.
Yeah,
How is it that the builder figures are always almost better than the actual figures that you have to buy to get them?
yeah, this thing is pretty cool though.
And then like looking at the builder figures, I'm like, who are these characters? I've never seen these characters.
I have no idea who this man is. I mean, he reminds me of like is it the Wendigo? He reminds me of a character. Is he like a robot? Yeah, like no, because he's got like buttons in his hand, and he's got like,
An abominable snowman robot. Maybe they captured an abominable snowman and like,
and he's got like what is similar to like a world title belt around his waist. So
maybe
yeah,
they got that dome on top of his head to control him because like he was wild and savage.
next up, Iceman. This is the Age of Apocalypse. So Iceman, right? Actually,
Is that Colossus that comes? It looks like a Colossus.
oh yeah, it will be Colossus.
Nice.
You know, in due time. So Iceman, Rogue. I've seen.
I really like that Rogue figure.
I've seen.
She's not the best, but I like her.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's my fault for collecting late, but I still want figures of like the ones that I grew up with. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Legion.
I was never familiar with Legion. Oh my God.
Same here. I've read some things just like when you get on those little Wikipedia rabbit holes where you're like,
right,
look up something about Magneto. Next thing you know, you're reading about how Dazzler saved, I don't know, Banshee from Apocalypse. You're like,
right,
like this is so far from where I started.
Right.
Another Magneto. Well, I say another. There's one over in the corner over there. So this one, he's got some braids, for reasons that made sense to him at the time.
I liked Sabretooth out of that line as well.
Same here. I didn't see it in hand or in person until I got mine. Then you have this Cyclops that looks like he should be singing for Taking Back Sunday.
I was gonna say, with the hair, I'm not a huge fan, but
yeah. And Shadow Cat, who honestly, when I first saw this, I was like, because I was, how you see something, you know it's not somebody, but like,
right,
like, that's not Dazzler, is it?
Right.
Like, he had like a similar sort of look. I was like, that shouldn't be her because it's just in the face. And then, as you just mentioned, the Sabretooth.
Yeah, that's the one.
So this one, yeah, I'd seen the Magneto and the Rogue and the Cyclops in stores, but I haven't seen anybody else yet. And so this one I did order straight from Big Bad Toy Store. They came in today, actually. Yeah, these came in this morning because I remember thinking it was weird that FedEx delivered on a Sunday. But they probably do that just because that's one day's less packages sitting around in whatever house.
When they're delivering packages when they're not dumping them in somebody's creek.
Oh yeah, that was a thing that happened. Let's see. Hold on a second. Because I missed some things. No, didn't mean that, but you get to talking. I wonder if they'll do Immortal. I saw, like, is it 20? No, it can't be 20. 50-year anniversary of Hulk, maybe.
Hasbro's got a Hulk
Like
figure.
they have a Hulk figure that I saw that's kind of just like your standard Hulk figure coming up next
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
and that one is like that they're using for their 50th anniversary. But I assume like the Air Max 90 or something, they'll probably go all out.
He's
Real
got
quick,
a
since someone just mentioned it or whatever, let's sit that down for a
he's got
second.
a really good body sculpt, but a terrible face.
So these, I wasn't planning on opening right now or anything. Since we were talking about it, I saw a Silver Surfer comment somewhere down there, and it just happened to stand out. This is the Silver Surfer with the hammer, the
He's got
Thor.
Thor's hammer.
Yeah. So I don't remember what the storyline was, but for some reason he had Thor's hammer. This was at the time it came out last year, this year. I forget it. It's all a blur. I want to say this year though. I think this was a Walgreens exclusive, and I also bought this Thanos
Oh,
from.
that's a really good Thanos figure.
This one was hanging out in a lot of Targets, just not my Target, at least not when I wanted it. So I had to pick that up later, and Apocalypse as well.
Wow.
So my dad, he doesn't know, but like I bought him a figure a while ago. It was the Archangel that basically is of this series, like the Marvel Legends.
Right,
So you might
right.
remember it came in this same sort of box, had the multiple heads, like
Yeah,
the huge wingspan, right?
yeah.
So I bought him an Archangel earlier in the year, and it's like around his birthday or whatever. And the thing is, like the first figure that he ever bought me was Archangel, but this was like 1990,
Right.
so
So it
like
really
that
wasn't the
Archangel was like
best.
the one that you see in like the retro type, where it's just
Right,
like the two wings that just kind of like open and closed or something.
right, right,
Yeah. So yeah, man. Either way, so there's no real reason that they aren't opened other than I was waiting to have space to open them.
right.
But I do want that Archangel though, because it is a cool figure. But every so often, I'll skip over getting something for myself and just get it for whoever, and I'll just live through them on it.
I need to look at that. I really wish they would do like an original Archangel figure before he was given the metal wings,
Ah,
because I really liked the look of Archangel before
thanks
um
for that.
they did what they did.
Yeah. So like back when he was just Angel and he was like, the pretty boy or something, yeah, kind of
Yeah,
that sort of thing going on.
yeah,
I don't know if you ever watched Seinfeld, but the black guy that they had on here, what was his name? He was kind of like the Johnny Cochran, but I
yeah,
can't remember
yeah. I
what
know
his
who you're
name
talking
was.
about.
The lawyer, whatever. Man, what was his name? But yeah, he's on TV right now because I've been watching Seinfeld reruns like silently in the background, which is fine because I've seen all the episodes a million times. So, like when I was doing the review on those two shoes that I opened this live with, I was watching that while I was like talking through it because it's Gel Light 3s. I've talked about them a million times. So I was actually watching Seinfeld while I was kind of doing that.
Nice. Man,
So
I've ordered so many figures off of Hasbro Pulse, and they're all like pre-orders. So I'm waiting for those to come in. The biggest thing I ordered, and hopefully I don't regret it, is I ordered the Proton pack, the Ghostbusters Proton pack. It's like a 1-of-1 scale, and it is fully, you can dismantle it and stuff like that. But I won't see it until 2023. So hopefully I don't move by then and have to go through the headache of changing my address. But I'm really excited for that.
yeah, I have stayed away from. I mean, I know last time you were on here, we did. Was it last time? A recent
Yeah,
time that you were on here, we did talk
yeah.
about those, like the Hasbro Pulse. And I'm gonna pull up the website in a second and scroll through the Marvel section and see what's on there. But somebody asked to see the shoes that I mentioned earlier. So these
the turtle toes.
Yeah, I know, right? Freaking ridiculous. So this is the Bape Superstar pack, or not pack. Well, I guess it was a pack, but this is one of the Bape Superstars things, right? So there's that. There's some stuff on the side of the box and whatnot. So basically, it's a Superstar. So it's got like the shell toe. It's got the Bape thing, Bape lace debray. At the top of the tongue area, you got on this one the the Adidas. On this one, you got the Ape. And then if you look at the outsides, they're switched up, right? If you look from the insides, also switched up. But if you look from the same side, then it just looks like a normal one sort of deal. So that's kind of a cool way to do that, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen that actually happen. At least not for me, like shoes that I've seen. Not going to say it's never happened, but I don't pay a lot of attention. And then on the back, you got like the Adidas and then the Vapor as well. And also on the inside, down in there, you have what you can kind of tell is a very nice leather insole. So you kind of see that just a little bit of.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see the texture.
Yeah, so it doesn't come out, at least not without a little extra work. And these aren't mine. These are from Mom. So I'm not gonna go tearing apart her shoes, even though I paid for them. I feel like I can do whatever. And it's not like she asked for them. I just got early access, and I felt that I shouldn't not buy what they're offering me. And even though I don't want them at all,
give you content
because of this situation,
right?
I figured Mom might be into them because it still is just like it's a plain black and white shoe. Like it goes with most things. It's got a little bit of flair on there, so I think she'll be into that. And then for Mom and for Dad, I bought them these because it's like Christmas time. Originally, I bought a pair for my dad, which is this one. Bought these months and months ago. But then after my mom was really into her sunflower color that I bought her, I figured I would get her a pair too. Since it's Christmas and they like to wear like Christmassy style things around that time frame, can't really go wrong with some red and white right about now. But with like the little bits of black and like, you can actually just wear these whenever you want to. It's not just like a timing thing, unlike certain releases. And one thing I didn't really notice before until now is that the coloring is only down the middle, like on the red in the middle section there. So you got leather there. I mean, it's leather on the white part too, but it's more like that punctured leather,
right?
Mesh look, but it's actual normal leather look on the middle. So that's kind of cool. And they came with this. Both of them come with this not lace debray, this hang tag thing, right? So, because these are from a Doramu doll pack.
I was going to say, what is that, a Ninja Panda monkey?
Say that again?
I was going to say, what is that, a Ninja Panda monkey?
I have no idea what this thing is. But whatever it is, it's happening. So either way, so I'm curious what the one looks like that came with the other pair, like the green pair. But personally, I think this is the better one. Got a little bit of gold and black back there. So like I was saying, with the whole Christmas thing, red, white, a little bit of gold, kind of makes sense. And it's got a nice little texture to it, gives that little premium flair. So these do come with a slight price premium, but the thing is, ASIC Gel Light 3s start at like 110. Sometimes they'll go up to like 120. That's usually where they stop for the most part. But my Sneaker Law pair, that one was 140. So that's usually about the height of it, And if you buy those other ones, they generally just have some better materials or a little more going into them. So that's where stuff like this comes in. But even still, 120 for these is not bad in my personal opinion, given like the quality and overall comfort of them. And the fact that like these came out so long ago, but they were still like very much available. So those are going to Mom and Dad, and then those are just going to Mom. So they're not like Christmas gifts necessarily. I just buy them crap randomly through the year.
Right.
Because, they used to buy me stuff when I was younger, so I just kind of return the favor.
Absolutely. I think that's why I bought these for the same reason that you bought yours, is because I ended up with early access to them.
Oh yeah.
Um, the Jordan 1 Crafts. And like the interesting thing about it is it has different what's the word? It has like
You're like struggling to look at your screen.
different aspects from a lot of the shoes that released this year, be it Jordan 1s, because you got a bit of the Bordeaux, Tokyo Bordeaux look back here in the back. And then up here, you've got the biohacks. And
Oh,
then on the toe box, and then along here, which is 3M, it's the prototype, the Jordan 1 prototype. And then on the side panels and the ankle collar up here, because that's a completely different color brown. It's a darker color brown than up front. The Jordan 1 Mocha. And then like the swoosh is like an undersized Nike swoosh than what you normally would see on Jordan 1s. And the only thing I can remember that from is like the Union LA Jordan 1. And this green color, I think this comes from like the biohack. I can't remember. I don't remember seeing this green color technically.
so I didn't care for the biohack, but I feel like there was like yellowish on it, like that ochre type color.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, or was it one of those ones where like the right shoe didn't look exactly like the left shoe?
It's been so long since I've seen those biohacks.
Yeah.
I have them somewhere, but I just don't remember. Then they got like the two-tone.
Hold on a second though, but I assume they're also somewhere on your channel. Is that correct?
The biohacks. Did I do a video for the biohacks? I hope I did. I've done so many videos that just didn't make the cut. I can't remember, but I do believe I did do the biohacks.
You hear that, people? So many videos at the palm of your hand, at the tip of your fingers, ready to be watched, that he doesn't even remember all of them. So, just saying.
And it's got the gradient laces that go from black to pink. And they did include like regular laces that are like all black, and then they kind of just said screw it all and just threw the white laces in the bag any kind of way. You know how people get with laces when they're not in the bag, wound up nice and beautiful, like they automatically say they're fake. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
And then it's got like the diamond patterned texture that's inside of the 12 royalties, but it's like really cushioned in this one. This is what I wish the royalties felt like. And then on the insole, it's got a really nice diamond pattern texture insole, which will probably add to the comfort because it's like stitched, which you don't normally see on a Jordan 1 insole. That's a little different. And then it's got the patch, so this will not rub off. It's an actual Nike Air patch in there, so that's cool too.
Okay, so that's interesting because there seems to be a little bit more going into those than usual.
Right.
I mean,
And the resale price is not crazy either. It's not like oh wow, I have to run out and get it kind of shoe, but it's not a bad shoe either. This is like a shoe that you can just throw on, kind of beat up and wear every day as an everyday shoe. And then I guarantee you'll like to look more worn in than you would brand new. So yeah, I picked that up. It is not my size, unfortunately, because I would definitely love to put my theory to the test and just wear it and beat it up. But yeah, somehow this shoe will find a home. But I figured I would grab it, given that I had early access. Maybe give it to my sister or somebody, and kind of do a review and let you all know like what I thought of this. And this is one of the videos that I did a review on. So that will be coming sometime in the near future, hopefully before the year the new year starts. So yeah, that gives me about a week and a half, I think.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know.
next Friday is the last day of the year. Yeah,
Maybe.
next Friday is the last day of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Days kind of blur together. So, you know, that whole thing.
Okay, so
Um,
appreciate that. Yeah, I got those only because Finish Line emailed me and said, "Hey, click here to order these now." And I was like, "You guys in this early access for things I want." But $190 later, and one email also from UPS about a shipping number or something. So I'll see what those are like later. But that also there kind of gives me some stuff to look into. So I'll give them a different look than
yeah.
a normal run of the mill one. Because for one, I also don't get a lot of ones. I bought two this year, and neither of them was like the one that I wanted. So that's, all I wanted was a pair of Pollens, and I would have been fine. I got those Dunks, so it's like it's close. All right, let me read up on some things real quick. So yes, I very much so still. I need to. I think this weekend. I think if there's some sales, I think I'm going to order a tablet so I can start reading comics again. Because it's been too long. I keep saying that I'm going to do it, so I think I'm just going to bite the bullet. Let's see, clean shells. That's different. Appreciate that. I haven't bought a pair of Bapes. Well, this was my first pair, and they're not even for me. Big kid. Oh, no problem. To you too. I'm assuming that says a thank you. I don't know. Wouldn't mind a pair of Crapestas or the Creepstas from the ambush some years back. Homegrown, are you familiar with that? I'm not personally.
No.
Shoe
No.
pouch. I didn't know that. I can see how those might still be around in some like sizes that aren't super common. I can see that. Niners colors. That I will take your word for it. Hey, the Wise Soul is in here. What's going on? Those are clean with orange laces. I did. I saw them with like the pinkish color that you were talking about. I didn't. Maybe somebody just put orange laces in them because I know people do that. Oh, this comment also. You should check that one out. Do yourself a favor. The materials on these are crazy. They seem to be. I mean, like that insole has me slightly intrigued because at first I was just thinking like, what is this? Why is this? You know? What do I think about the Gore-Tex one? Are you Gore?
Oh, those are those
And like,
all-weather Jordan ones. They came in like a green
oh,
colorway and another colorway.
see, I wasn't sure if
And
you meant like the Gore-Tex like ones, like the Jordan ones, or like, oh,
right,
like if I put up this, he's like, oh, what about the blue ones? Like he's meaning like the blue of these.
right.
I was like, the Gore-Tex what?
And I think the price tag was $190.
But then the next comment clarifies. The Gore-Tex ones are cool, but I'm kind of burnt out from translucent soles. I don't have much in the way of translucent soles. My A6 Gel Light 3s, the Sneaker Laws, the ones that are built off of those Malaysian towers, those have a translucent sole and it looks very cool.
I
But
like translucent soles. I don't know if I'm burnt out on those. I don't think I'm burnt out on that concept.
I'm not burnt out because I don't have much of it. You know?
Because
Like,
those black and gold Jordan 12s, they have translucent soles, and I really love that. The fact that they did. Yeah,
wait, which ones?
the ones that you have, the black and gold ones, the ones that you got like a pair for mom, I think, and then like you got two pair.
Oh, like the university gold type color.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, because I heard gold and I was thinking of royalties, and then I was
right.
like, I feel like those don't have translucent soles. And I just saw those, but do they? I was like, I'm going through all this stuff over here. Okay, yes, now I know what you're talking about. But yeah, the shoot. Oh, hey, I was about to say something. He says, "Chips here," so that's unfortunate. But but no. So the Gore-Tex ones, like the translucent sole thing, I'm cool with it. I'm not burnt out only because I don't have much of it. If I did, but again, it's usually on Jordans, and I just don't get a lot of those. if I did, I might feel the same way, and I'd want something a little different, you know. But like for me on Jordan 12s, I got burnt out on things not being leather because like I'm
Right,
making all these
right,
like weird materials. It's like here's the Indigo 12. I'm like, what is that? Like
right.
here's the Bulls 12. I'm like, what is this? Is this canvas? Like
That's how I felt about the Jordan threes. Until I saw the pine green threes, I got burnt out with Jordan threes just being all leather. I was like, aren't there any other ideas except for all leather Jordan three?
man, I, I'm not gonna say I have anything against the Jordan 3 because I don't. I just don't have many of them like at all. I have one, you know. I did buy two of them because I got my dad a pair, which he wears a lot.
Yeah,
But
they're really comfortable. They break in well too.
like, because and to be fair though, like all the shoes that I buy him, he wears like you wouldn't believe. I mean, last time they were up here, I bought them those Pegasus Trail threes, you know, so we could go like into nature.
Right.
And I saw them recently, and like he has put some miles on those. Like, like you were just here. Like, where did you? Like, did you go back to the war? You know, because he was in the army at some point. Like, is that still going on? Did you go to Wakanda maybe? But yeah, and walk there. But yeah, so he wears all the stuff that I get him like a lot, which is cool because
That's incredible. Yeah.
when I buy him stuff, I buy it so it can be worn, you know. And it's funny because like I'll go and I'll walk through like the garage or something, and I'll see like the different shoes from over the years, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those like those Flying in Air Max ones. Like you're probably like the only other person that has a pair of those besides. And then you know I'll see like some of the like the Lunar threes and some of the like the Ultra Boost 19s and stuff. But man, this guy's got some options.
Quite a collection. Yeah.
And of course those camo Jordan 10s from what was that? Late 19? Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
late 19.
18 or 19. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, because I remember buying them for him for Father's Day last year, and they were hardish to find because like you know how stuff sits around, then it goes on sale, and then all of a sudden it just disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went to go find a pair, like they still had them in various stores, but like they had them for like the normal price, and I was like, man, you just had these for 130.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. But I was still able to use some kind of coupon or something and get a little bit of money off of them, but not as much as I would have wanted.
He said,
To be honest.
yeah, I feel like my Rush Shadow ones look better beat up. Absolutely.
Rust Shadow. I
Those
can.
were the ones that were like,
Oh,
uh, they were black in the front, and then they had like the copper color on the back. They had three
like the
different
Statue
names.
of Liberty was it?
Yeah, they were originally called like the Statue of Liberty,
Okay,
and they were
yeah.
called something else, and then they were called the Rush Shadows.
Light Fusion Red ones, Hex and Ghost Green ones. Yeah, you know, like I honestly, I don't know, man, because like the sleeper term thing, like it's kind of weird sometimes, because like there are times, and I'm just speaking for me, right? I'm wide awake when these releases happen. I see them coming, I see them reviewed, I see them in apps and for raffles, and I care not, right? So I am not asleep. I am just actively not caring. And then when I do my little sneaker recap thing, that's when it all comes out. But this year, it seems like everything is just selling, like regardless, you know? Some things are just easier to get because they're not as hyped up. Like a pair of, you know, like those 11s that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Those there were a lot of them, but they still apparently weren't easy to come by from what I've seen of some people.
Yeah. Yeah. I barely got a pair. I barely got a pair.
So yeah, I saw you a while ago saying, you know, like it's because it was sneakers that came through for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I did not even notice that. That extra long piece of like the bandana for Colossus, they
Yeah.
had that with Sabretooth in the back.
Wow.
It's kind of hiding behind his actual figure. along with these extra saber tooth. Was it like a ponytail? Like, and surprisingly, okay, I guess that does make sense. But it's a little surprising that they included two ponytails. You know what I'm
Two?
saying? Because like,
I guess in case you lose one.
they have two heads, but these both look very much the same, just like mirror images almost of each other.
You have the Light
So,
Fusion Red Jordan 1s or Fusion Light Punch. Those are a really good shoe that nobody likes because you can get them for under retail on the resale apps. I got those and I wore those for my birthday when I went to Florida, and a lot of people gave me a lot of compliments on that shoe. So, and the leather is pretty decent on there as well.
wait, on which one again? Sorry, I was like throwing
The
stuff.
Light Fusion Punch Jordan 1s. They were the Jordan 1s that everybody kept calling the McDonald or Ronald McDonald Jordan 1s.
I think I remember that. Chip, hello to you. How's things going? I see you said you're off work, which is good. That's one of my favorite places to be. It's not that I
Right.
hate my job or anything. I just like being at home. Let's see. Suede on 12s makes me. I have three suede 12. Actually, you know what? Because of the way some releases went, I probably have a lot more than I think. Yeah, I'm gonna say that there's some that are fine. Remember those Bordeaux 12s like a while ago? They came out the same time as
Ooh, those are really good.
this came out the same time as like a gray pair. Like, well,
Yeah,
maybe
with the
by a
cream
week.
bottoms.
Yeah, those I almost missed out on. Which one? The one that came out first, I almost missed out on because again, I was like, buying all my stuff from El Paso because they were super reliable for me, right? Especially like in the days of the ticket raffles. I'll just say that. But so I was buying all my stuff there, and so I saw those 12s coming up. I was like, okay, I've been through this a million times. They're not going to sell out. I'm just going to go down there next weekend when the second pair comes out, and I'll buy them both then instead of making two trips. I got down there for like the second pair, which I think was the gray pair. Pretty sure it was the gray pair. And I'm walking around the mall, and I'm like, yeah, let me get these and whatever. And they're like, oh, we sold out. All we have is like 12 or whatever. I'm like, one of those sizes I can do nothing with. And so I'm like, wait, what? And so there's a Foot Locker, a Foot Action, and a Champs in there. Also a Shoe Palace, I think, too. And so I'm going to these stores, and I'm just like striking out. I get to the last possible store, and they had one of my size. So I
Wow.
got like the last one in that mall. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like the maroon pair because that was the pair that I actually wanted the most.
Right.
So that's when things change and where you start putting in all the effort up front so you don't go through that again, you know? But man, I was like, am I about to miss out on a pair of
12s.
get 12?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, what is this? It makes no sense to me.
12s do have their moments, I guess, when it gets a little shaky.
I mean, yeah, but it was just still for that time of the era. Because again, 2016 or 17, 18, it was
Yeah. Yeah.
shoes are making a comeback next year. Like season, it's gonna take more than a solid colorway of a 2 to make me care. Because
Right.
twos, the Union 2s and Am 2s are a must for me. Oh, okay, so there's another 2 fan in here. All right, I think
My year 2s are a must for me.
I think you
I
guys
think
might be the only 2 fans that have passed through these virtual doors.
I
So
don't think I've paid attention to the Alma year 2s. Maybe the Union 2s. They're fairly decent.
okay, I see what
I'm
yeah,
not
I
gonna
mean
lie.
that's a valid way to put that. Like the sleeper term. But some people, and that makes sense. But some people completely just overuse it. There's like if something doesn't sell out immediately, they're just like, nope, it's either a brick or people are asleep. It's like people sometimes don't have money for stuff, right?
Right.
That's a fact. I mean, if there's a big release on like the first, and then there's like a pretty decent release on the 7th, that pretty decent release, even though a lot of people might like it, it might not be bought because they just bought the other one.
Right, right.
I mean, like for me, I didn't get those Beluga 2s, which is kind of a blessing in a way because I put in for them because I was like, I'll see how it goes. But part of me was like, I do not think I want these. So, and then I didn't get them. So I'm like, cool, because I need to buy my aunt some shoes. And that money that I didn't spend there can easily cover her pair, right? I'm going to get her some cold ready Ultra Boost 22s, which are
Nice.
which are barely cheaper than those Yeezys. So
I wanted a pair of Belugas because I need to snap this cold streak of not getting anything off of Adidas or Adidas Confirmed. I don't know what happened because I went from consistently getting shoes off of Adidas and Adidas to Confirmed to not getting anything at all.
let's see. What? Yeah, he's saying like the bandana add-on. Yeah, this thing it's pretty crazy because it's I mean I'm sure we've all seen him from like the comics of that era. Like the bandana thing was always going crazy in the wind or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. What is this scammer link or some poly? Okay. Uh,
Right. I scammer link. I thought that said or some booty pole. I don't know.
It's a booty pole, like a stripper pole, but like better or different. Board 12s, or yes, they are. And then he also says yes, they are. So I could have saved myself a couple words. Just clicked on his comment. I have serious FOMO on the Bordeaux ones. Bordeaux. Oh yeah, I have those.
Yeah, I picked those up as well. I don't know if I want those.
I'm mostly okay with them, but again, that silver swoosh is and that plastic emblem. It's minor things, but they're big things at the same time. Yeah. Let me hit you on the big screen there.
That is what really bothers me here.
Yes.
If this was maybe black, then this would be fine. Or even if, because I talk about it in my review, if they were to come out and say that this was part of the Tokyo JP thing that they were doing, the silver ones and the navy ones, if they were to come out and say that that is a part of that, then I would understand why they did the jewel and the silver swoosh. But to have this as its own separate shoe does not make sense to me.
Yeah. Again,
so much goes right with this shoe, and then just that wrong with it just kind of erases a lot of the good.
Because those come with Bordeaux laces in the bottom, right? And the white ones are attached.
Yeah, it comes with Bordeaux laces in it, and then the white ones are attached to it.
Yeah, because one of my buddies, the guy that I got that Halloween mask from, which if you haven't watched that video, definitely watch to the end. But the guy that he gave me that as a part of a giveaway, but he got those as well, and he was saying that putting the white laces in there makes that silver swoosh a little more tolerable. But I was like, look, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, sell that used lemon to somebody else because I ain't buying. These make this swoosh better. No, I mean, if anything, look how they just kind of just throw them in there. That's terrible, terrible job, Nike. But if anything, that white laces in that shoe with that silver swoosh would make me even more annoyed at what's going on with the shoe.
So I was mad before, but now.
Right. Maybe it's my OCD, but I'm just looking at this white next to this silver and just imagining it being laced in between all this Bordeaux. And it's just,
Yeah,
It's
because like for me,
infuriating. It sends me
I
into a blind rage.
like the white laces on a white tongue, like it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
much. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe that works for like Doom. Like he might be into it because he seems to be into white in this phase of his life. But actually, I held that figure. I forgot I'm not even on the screen. But like, it's just too much. I need a little bit of a contrast there.
Right.
Something's got to give. Ugh.
Maybe if they were an off-white, I don't know, like a cream. I don't know. No.
Well, no, because like again, oh, let me bring you down a notch here. Because even then, like again, this is like because I'd look at it like this, like the off-white toe box and like the white
Right.
upper. I don't like how this looks.
Yeah. It
Like I'm sure my
looks
mom like
dingy and extremely clean.
and like even I'm sure my mom will be overall fine with it, but I'm curious to hear what her personal thoughts are going to be. Maybe I have to like get those and share them with the group, you know? Because oh my god! But the year of drunk Jordans. Oh, because that's talking about like the wine inspired. There has been a lot of that. Let's see. Yeah, because his next thing, and then the Bordeaux. Bordeaux has been a pretty solid one. Yeah, like I was saying before, like those Bordeaux 12s and the Bordeaux 7s are two of my favorite things.
Yeah.
They should bring back the jeweled emblem on ones again for a bit. It's a really nice touch. I mean, I think so. I still prefer the stitching, but
Yeah.
I think if it's done in the right color, that's really
Yeah.
like the biggest thing for anything, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I mean, there are some material choices that I might just never like, but I'm not going to put that one on that list. I think it just was the choice they made. And who knows, maybe I'd feel less anti that if that swoosh was better.
Right.
Like the swoosh is such a big piece of it. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
think
man.
I don't think I would like to see the jewels on more Jordan ones because it gives me like a childlike feel with that jewel on there. Um, with the Bordeaux Jordan ones, I don't mind the jewel because the colorway and the color blocking is so good. Um, but again, like beating a dead horse because it's probably ground powder right now, but that silver swoosh is just oh, it's like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Going off of what he's saying, if I want something and like for some reason sleeping on it. Now, I will say like I was saying before, it's there are times when I just underestimate how much I'll like something. Yeah, that has happened. I won't say it hasn't. But then there are some things like the Krusty Burger, the Adidas Krusty Burgers. Like I don't know why I didn't get those. I don't know. I don't remember if I tried and it didn't work out, or if it was like a timing thing. Like I was saying, like if I just spent some money on some other stuff and didn't have money to set aside for shoes, because shoes are like a lower priority. But either way, when they came back, though, I was ready. I definitely went all for it. Huh. This is the episode where Jerry can't remember this girl's name. He's like, Mulva?
Oh, I remember that episode. One of the very few Seinfeld episodes that I remember,
Yeah.
and I laughed hysterically at.
But I think her name was actually like Dolores. So.
Yeah. Because yeah, that's my mom's name. Like he spent the entire episode trying to figure out her name.
Yeah, that was, and now she's walking away because that's where he just got the name wrong. So yeah. Okay, let's see what those for some reason. White laces. I mean, on some things. Hey, Gigantor, what's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping in. Oh, looks like he knows you too. Very cool. Too bad we are the same size. Oh, aren't. Okay. Yeah, those pollen ones. And the thing is, like, if I was like one of those people that's okay with paying resale, the pollen ones were going for like, I think they sold for 180, and I think they were going for like 190.
Yeah.
And you know me, like, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So I stand by my whole thing of not paying resale. Yes, it was only $10. And yes, that is a little bit ridiculous, but there are some principalities involved. So I was
Right.
like, I'm not doing it. He has a VHS of Pretty Woman. You can
I
tell
definitely
how old this show is.
I definitely understand standing on your morals because Coffee has this thing now where when he learned that I will not wear used shoes, he's determined to get me to wear used shoes at this point.
I saw him in like that. What's his name's Ryan's video the other day. Is that why? Because I didn't get the joke, but like he said something about like buying a used jersey, and he's like, how to see what homegrown thinks. And I was like,
Yeah,
does
yeah,
he care about that jersey, or is there more to this? You know, I
yeah.
was like, I don't get it. I'm just gonna accept that I don't get it.
Because they find it, him and Ryan find it odd that I will not buy used shoes, even if that means a cheaper price for a shoe that I really want. Because I have a whole thing about putting shoes that people have worn on my own feet.
Okay, the plastic again. Yeah, and I totally get that because you know you don't know who used them. Now,
Right.
if it was, because like if it was like, let's say somebody that I know takes care of themselves like in the same way that I do, and themselves, because like you can take care of the shoe, but if you don't take care of your feet and your
Right.
body, then it kind of nullifies it. So yeah.
And that's exactly what crosses my mind. I'm like,
These are Iceman hands that came in here. It's almost
wow,
scary, right? Just the way those are. I really like
that's
them though.
exciting.
Yeah, so give you the quick run through before I put Colossus together. Sit that over there. So, Iceman, right?
That's a really good figure.
Yeah, it is. I like that. Very cool, which is a word I use a lot. Sometimes it sounds like a pun. And then you have, from a distance, this you might think that this is Kid, but it is actually Legion. Whatever happened to Kid anyway? Is he still?
I have no idea.
Anything?
I think he kind of fell off.
And he's got like a little. You can kind of see it a little bit there. He's got like a little bit of hair that's just kind of hanging out. You know?
Yeah.
So I keep forgetting. Like when I see this, it's hard to remember which way to lean to. You know. And then, like I was saying, from Taking Back Sunday, you have this guy here, who also goes by Cyclops. Pretty solid figure, though.
What is the deal with his arms?
I don't know what's going on there. Not a clue. Shadow Cat, right?
Oh, that's
very,
a good figure.
It's well done, but very basic at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's a line in there where it's okay though. And then Magneto with his braids, because he's like older and wiser now, I guess.
Right.
Got the nice cloak. Magneto was always one of my favorites, just because I don't know, he just seemed cool, you know. And then as they have these guys around longer, you start to see them like grow and be more powerful, using their powers for like different things. And it's like, oh, he can't just move metal; he can control like your blood and like the iron in it. It's like,
right.
That was Rogue. Last, certainly not least, I had to put accidentally put his ponytails in the bag. So I had to.
He looks more sophisticated without the ponytail.
Yeah, like this is like job interview. Saber,
right?
You know? Like, so what are your skills, Mr. Tooth? All right, let's see. So the off-white or the black off-white twos. I don't remember anything about any of those.
I think you said they were ugly.
I'm sure I did, because I said that about most off-whites. And Gigantor says, "What up to Homegrown?"
What's going on, Gigantor?
Yeah, then
I'm doing my
Yeah.
nightly things that a lot of people question. My
Yeah.
nightly runs.
Yeah, I know. Like, we can't all be strippers in the Atlanta area. But I'm sure it pays very well. You see, he's buying all these shoes all the time, so must be doing something all right for him. Let's see. Yes, the Age of Apocalypse has a lot of. I don't know how widespread the use of the word toyetic is, but they do have some very toyetic figures. That is for sure. It's a word that I picked up from Johnny Gargano, actually, of all people. So, also known as Johnny Wrestling. Trying to get this. Wow, I really like the articulation in this Cyclops thing. Very well done. Is this the right foot? Yeah. Get that on there. Get this together as well. All right. He already has hands. Even the Cyclops comes, or even the Colossus comes with extra hands. So
That's
Homegrown
not.
looks like drop out for a second, for the video anyways. Yeah, so even the Colossus has like these extra hands. So that's kind of it's got the fit, which makes sense. So now go ahead and throw this thing on the back of here, however that's supposed to get in there. Try not to mess anything up. But yeah, I am very curious to see what all else they do with like other figures and stuff, because there's some good ones out there. So there's that. Probably could have put that another way. And boy, I don't like neck joints like this when you're trying to put heads on or take them off or whatever.
Oh, the swivel joints.
Because like if you don't angle it right, you're not going to get it on there.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So, because I think I might have broken MJF's neck like a while ago
Oh,
with that situation. Where is that MJF? I think he's one of the ones I haven't put up yet. That's what it is. But this is just not even trying to cooperate. So just imagine that this head is stuck on here. This is what Colossus would look like.
nice. Wow.
So it is a pretty bulky looking figure though. So I do
Right,
like
right. His body makes his head look incredibly tiny and like a Ninja Turtle.
it really does. It really does. So I'll deal with this little headpiece later. But believe it or not, I actually got through everything. Last time I had a stack of figures to get through, it took me a whole WWE Survivor Series, an episode of AEW Dynamite, and I think some others set amount of time as well. So, and it's like 3 garbage bags full of action figure boxes.
I was gonna say the cleanup is gonna be the actual nightmare of this
Oh,
area.
yeah. Luckily, I've recorded everything and shot everything I needed to, with the exception of the actual out of box figure shots. But that will not take nearly as long because I'm not going to go as detailed as I went in the past on certain things. He's like, look, Bionic Commando. Very true. Oh, yeah, man. I'm pretty sure they did that Wolverine with another set because I feel very sure that I saw it at some point. Let's see, listening to you guys while I play Call of Duty. Man, like, I was just talking to somebody about like video games the other day. Like when the guy came to look at my internet, I I need to get some people together that want to play Back for Blood because that sounds like a pretty all right thing to do with my time. It's like Left 4 Dead if anybody's like played that at all, but
Okay.
it's just a modern version of it.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, that
one
sounds
of these
really interesting. That sounds like a good game.
what movie is this? It looks familiar. Oh, Old School. I haven't seen that in forever. But yeah, so I'd like to get back into some of those things. I'd like to do a recent figure. I'd like them to do a recent figure. He's a Spider-Man villain that's basically a harbinger of superpowers. Let's see, wait, which figure was he talking about? I think I might have missed something, but
Oh, I guess like the villain is a regent. and I guess he's a
Oh,
Spider-Man
like
villain that has like
okay. Because for some reason, like sometimes I'm reading through these like quickly. It's like you see, I thought it said like recent. Like I'd like them to do a recent figure, and I was
right,
like
right.
of who, of like what person. But okay, yeah. There's a the more I start to like look at like the Hasbro sites or like the news that comes through about like the figures they're making, the more I realize like I'm gonna have to stop buying as many shoes because
Yeah,
I'm
Hasbro's website is dangerous. Like I said, I just bought that $399 one of one scale proton pack.
see yeah. Let's see. Sentinel has the worst neck joints I've experienced in a while. Had me worried about my Spider-Verse figures. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if I mess up Doom, right? Not as big of a deal. If I mess up, I mean, and still, like if I mess up this or break the head, like if I break the head, I can buy a new. Which one of these people had the head? That was number 3, so that was Sabretooth. Okay, then I had to buy a new Sabretooth. I guess it's not so bad, but I'd rather just not deal with that.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
best
So
way to
these
handle
things
that
actually
is
work.
to get you some warm water and put the head in some warm water, or use a hair dryer and soften up
Uh,
the head hole and pop it onto the peg, and it'll go on there real easy.
Actually, no, I did that. I forgot about that trick. I did that with my. What was it? It was it? I think it was some NECA movie Ninja Turtles, like the more like the figure style, not so much of a statue style, right? Or
Yeah,
no, I take that back. I take that back. It was whatever set that is that's in my cabinet, where they brought them back and they looked a lot like the animated series figures from like the late 80s, early 90s, but they
yeah.
just looked a little had like a slight modern twist to them. I can't think of what they called that series though. I'm very curious now that I think about it, but I'll have to look in my Amazon history because like I remember buying them from there, but because I accidentally ordered 2 Leonardos for some reason, which I still have the other one just sitting in my closet. It
The
was
Hasbro Pulse website is.
The Ninja Turtles Classic Collection. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember those.
When those came out, I had that problem. So I did not know that Left 4 Dead was the same developer. I knew it was like a spiritual successor, and to the point that it was just basically the same game. It's Juliette Lewis. Sometimes I forget she's like a movie star, but she also made a really good album. I can't remember what the name of it was. And now this guy, he's here for the gangbang. That's the one line I remember from this movie. So when you watch things that you've seen a lot of times with no sound, you just like you got to fill it in for yourself. Yes, we were just talking about the Moreland figure for some reason. Oh yeah, because Homegrown had the Miles Morales figure pulled out, and on the back he was on there. So yeah, had you asked me a year ago, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds cool. But now that I've been buying into these things a lot, now I definitely am more into them.
Um,
Yeah,
Hasbro Pulse is like the worst site to visit because you'll come out spending more than you intended to just browsing. HasLab is probably the most dangerous part of Hasbro Pulse.
Jesus Christ.
I
Yeah,
really wanted that Galactus figure that they did for uh for HasLab, but at
this
the
is not.
time I couldn't justify the price.
But how much was it?
I think it was almost $300.
I would not want to spend that much money for a figure. I'm
I
not going
think
to
it was
say
like
let's see, because I spent when the let's see, it was the Masters of the Universe 2002, 2003 series figures. When those came out, I was very much a completionist, at least for the figures, not so much for the vehicles. And I did spend like, was it two something on a Chase Battle Fist? who was normally called Fisto, but there was some sort of licensing thing that they were going through at the time.
Right.
So I bought that Chase one, and like the only thing that was different was like he had like different colored eyebrows, and the emblem on his belt was like purple instead of whatever color, something like that. So again, at the time, I didn't have a whole lot of hobbies other than just going to the concerts. So I didn't mind spending a little bit more on stuff like that. And I was already giving a lot of money to Matty Collector every month. Okay.
Well,
It
I
has
know you
happened.
bought
It has
the
happened.
Castle Grayskull for your figures.
Say that again?
I know you bought the Castle Grayskull that recently released at Target for your figures. It's
I did
only
not.
right.
I did not. I have one Castle Grayskull at my mom's house somewhere from I don't remember what. I remember that was like a limited thing and it was expensive. I don't remember what the deal was. I just throw money at He-Man sometimes. So there's that. So now I got his head on there. Success has
Oh,
happened.
wow.
So now you got Colossus and you got Zimnu, the man that nobody knows of.
The robotic abominable snowman, and they have to fight each other because they're both huge, ridiculously large
So given like for
people.
size, that's what this is looking like.
That's insane.
Yep, did it. So where did I leave off? And then this person. So we've already covered that, dude. You should have been here earlier.
Yeah,
All right,
like,
and then I wanted the HasLab Mando ship, though it's no longer on the show. I don't follow that so much, but I can understand the fact that you want something that is just kind of not around
oh, he's
anymore.
talking about the Star Wars.
Oh yeah. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not into that personally. I'm trying to now, I guess, got to get his belt thing back together. But sometimes these figures are like just so big that it's like, is this even going to go together?
Right.
Because it looks like there's not a whole lot of room to make that happen. But we'll see. I'll have to get that figured out at some point. But either way, I am definitely happy with the way this Colossus came out. And I just dropped the thing. So it's kind of weird because like this is just like this little bead at the end of there, right? And that goes into the back right there.
Oh, I
So
hate those.
yeah.
The Ninja Turtle, a lot of the Ninja Turtle figures were like that. And I remember snapping a lot of bandanas off the back of my Ninja Turtles heads that way.
So, and I don't remember which figure these hands came with because like one hand with one figure and whatever. But not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to dump them all in this bag with these Iceman hands and call it a day. So I got through AEW Unmatched Series 2, right? Where you had the likes of, oh, there goes the remote on the ground. MJF, which this robe is actually pretty cool then. Like now that I actually look at it up
Better
close.
than you, yeah. It's a really nice robe. It looks like something that would go on William Regal, or maybe not William Regal, but
I could see that.
he used to. Who's the guy? Isn't that William Regal who used to drive the Cadillac with the bull horns into the arena?
You're probably thinking JBL.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
of course, Lady Deathstrike was a part of something that got opened this evening. And then Magneto and his group were in the latter group. So, and somewhere around here is a Sting figure. Somewhere. I have no idea what happened to him. He was hanging out. He's probably in the rafters somewhere because that's a thing that he's into. But yeah, so I've gone through a lot today. So now you wouldn't believe the mess over here, but I at least got all my pieces put into their little bags so I won't lose anything other than that Sting figure, which is weird. Oh, it looks like Homegrown is back. So we can put him back on the screen. Let's see. Don't see myself or don't start getting into stuff. Oh no, I'm one step ahead of you. I'm not going to start. I don't
Yeah.
do science fiction-y stuff of that nature. Let's see. Screams 90s. You know, that's kind of one of the things that can be cool about certain things is that you look at it and it's like you know where it came from. You can imagine like what was going on and all that good stuff. But then you have the other ones where you're just like some of them it could be any time, you know. You don't know when, don't know where. I mean, like you have if it's plain enough, I mean, Wardlow could have been he could have been the 80s, you know what I mean? Or he could be on your TV right now. Well, unless it's only if it's like Wednesday or Friday or Monday on YouTube. Let's see. I think I'm gonna since I'm kind of still got a few of these bags here. One second, I'm gonna grab these other ones because I'm probably even if I don't hang around on the YouTube for the rest of this, I do at least want to get these things open soon too.
All right.
So, because it's another set that I bought like a while ago and just never really got around to. I think this one. Oh boy. Yeah, I've been. You know how it is. Homegrown can relate. You buy stuff and then it just kind of hangs around for a while before you actually get to it. So these are. What is this from? I don't even remember what this set was from. But it builds this Tri-Sentinel. I know that much. So you got Cyclops. No, wait. Yeah, you got Cyclops. Sorry, I got confused when I saw this for a second. I was like, wait, is that? Then you got Professor X, right?
That was like an older release of figures.
Oh, yeah. I've had these for a while. For a good while. Like some months that these have been sitting on the floor over there under some AEW figures. You got Marvel Girl, right? Wolverine, standard brown stuff, you know, back when he was doing that thing. Is this what Miss McTaggart, right? Who also looks like the chick from the New Girls show, like if anybody ever watched that. There's the Omega Sentinel, which I'm not really familiar with at all. And then you have the White Power Magneto. So there's that. So that's why I was saying earlier that I had like 2 Magnetos around here. So yes, lots of figures, lots of them. But that's the thing, you know, you buy them and then these I actually bought in Target though, because I went in there one day and I think I saw the Wolverine and the Magneto first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh wow, they have both of those. I wonder if they have the other ones. And then I saw all the other ones, and I'm like, I should just buy all of these now. It'll just save time later. You know, you tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to justify things in the moment. So since I struck out on wrestling figures that day, I figured I'm not going to strike out completely, and I'm just going to buy all this stuff. And so I bought all this stuff. Let's see, can you go a day without buying something? Yeah. What kind of dumb question is that? But can you? I guess. No, somebody asked like, can you go a day without buying something? It's like, yeah, you just don't buy something that day. It happens all the time, actually. Especially if it's the weekend, because I don't go anywhere on the weekends. But other days, like, you know, go to buy lunch and stuff, because that's a thing, you know, because I don't choose to make my own lunch because I'm just a little bit lazy, to be honest. Well, that's pretty much a daily occurrence from Monday through Friday. Yesterday I bought a haircut, so that happened. So I guess that was a bit of a lie there, that I don't buy anything on the weekends. Let's see. I didn't buy anything today, though. Probably because I haven't had time to buy anything. But I could jump online real quick, I guess, and buy something so I don't lose my streak. Because I'm going a solid week at this point from Monday to now. If I don't buy anything in the next 42 minutes, it could be a problem. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's extremely easy not to buy anything.
Say
I
that
mean,
again.
I don't have a long, drawn out explanation as to why it's easy not to buy anything. I just know it's easy not to do it.
Yeah, like as far as like non-necessary things, yeah, it's super easy actually. I mean, maybe some people have a problem with it and they're like, "Oh, I got to buy stuff all the time." Like, because for me, I have a lot of stuff, you know. So like those Ultra Boosts that I would like to buy, there is no reason whatsoever to buy them because, for one, I don't feel like dealing with it. So that's a huge piece of it. And two, they're not on sale, so I kind of don't want to buy them because of that. So, but I do really want them, you know? So I'll just wait and see what happens. And then, and luckily, as you pointed out, sometimes certain sites and whatnot can be helpful in making you not buy things by not letting you buy things. So that's a,
Yeah.
why does that woman look familiar? Huh. Like Will Ferrell's wife in this movie looks, I don't know, maybe she's been in something else that I've seen a lot. But she looks very familiar to me. Like I should know more about who she is.
What movie is it?
Old school.
Old school. Old school. Life school. I
So
haven't seen
now,
that. Wow.
so now Name is asking which ones. I have no idea what the context is. That's one of the things about this whole live stream thing. Like you say stuff, and then people say something, and like there's already like a, is it 10 seconds?
It's like a 5 to 10 second delay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. And then, add on like the extra 10 seconds of me looking at old school, looking at you, looking at Cyclops, and then looking over here. And it's like, so at that point, like 30 seconds has passed. And I'm just like, what? The cold ready ones. The cold ready ones. So now he's asking, like, he's saying ultra boost. Because, a lot of what I say, it doesn't even go into the short term memory. It's just like keeping it moving, keeping it moving. Man. Let's see, Cyclops. You know what he's. So, did you, homegrown, asking you, who are some of your favorite Marvel characters that don't really seem to be talked about a whole lot? For me, I don't know if he's at the top of the list, but Multiple Man is like way up there. I don't know why I've always been such a huge fan of that guy, but I just always thought that he was one of like the best Marvel characters. And that's where seemingly one half of Twisted got their name. Jamie Madrox, not Monoxide Child.
One of my favorite characters that just for some odd reason, like he was included a lot, well, not a lot in the series, but um I just really enjoyed him was Gambit. I don't understand why Gambit is such a sparse character. Did you mute yourself on accident and forget to unmute it?
Okay. Thank you for pointing that out, big
I was
kid.
gonna say, I don't think he heard me say, did he mute himself and forget to unmute it?
Oh no, I didn't. And so that's why it's good when it's said in there, because you know if you said something, I couldn't hear you saying anything, so that was not doing me any good.
Right.
So now you missed my whole sad story about everything that happened earlier today and why I cry myself to sleep at nights. No, I'm kidding. I was just talking about Magneto and Gambit. So here's Magneto, right? So thank you, big kid. I definitely appreciate that a whole heck of a lot because obviously, like, I'm not always looking down there at that stuff, so I don't notice things. And I really don't even remember putting myself on mute, but it might have happened because I was putting some of these action figure pieces on the keyboard here. So I'm wondering if maybe I just hit it when I was doing that or something. But either way, I'd like to know what happened with the Gambit movie and like why it is not a thing.
Right.
Because
Right.
it seems. Oh, forgot there's more in there.
Because
It
in one of
seems
the
like
X-Men movies, Gambit made a 8-second appearance where he was like in an alleyway and he kind of flipped a set of cards or something like that. It might have been like the Wolverine movie or something like
no,
that.
he was. I think he had like an actual fight scene in one of the Wolverine movies. Like I think he was actually in there for a bit doing who knows what, but I feel like he was in there for a while. Like being like a main-ish character. Man, this is some. Hold on a second here. Like, are you seeing this hair? Like,
Wow.
there's some stuff going on here. It's like one of those little dogs. It's like a Pomeranian or something. But like, yeah, man, that is awkward. But yeah, so I just happened to notice that. I wanted to share it with the group. But yeah, so Gambit is his favorite. Oh yeah, I was really big into Gambit too. But like I was saying, like I don't know if you heard my little rant about Multiple Man. But yeah, Multiple Man is like my guy. Like early on, I read about him through the cars that I was buying, and I was like, this guy is pretty cool. And even still, he is. So he did make a brief appearance in, was it X-Men 3? I think one of those X-Men movies because I don't. It might have been 2. I forget which one it was, but 3 sounds right because I just remember there being a lot of cameos in X-Men 3. But like most people, I don't watch X-Men 3 a lot, so I have no idea for sure.
That is very true. But I think like
What is this?
I don't understand how you could have a highly mentioned character like Gambit would have him highly underdeveloped as a character. Gambit had always seemed like to me a character that was mysterious with almost limitless limitations, I guess.
Well, sometimes like when you have that mystery about you, you can kind of like throw some little bits and pieces into their history
Right.
without like giving anything away, but you can have them go on like a weird adventure and just kind of leave some stuff vague. It's like, wait, who's this person he ran into? Like, what do they mean that this happened? Like years ago.
Right.
And you can add it into the story. You can take it out of the story, whatever, because that's the joy of comic books. Like earlier today, I was reading an article about how they're making a Wolverine figure from when Wolverine had like heated claws.
Huh.
So yeah, so like I didn't remember much about that happening. It's a vague concept that I kind of recall. But when I saw that, I was like, huh, I do kind of remember that for some odd reason. But apparently, like it did not go over well with the fans or basically anybody. So they kind of got rid of it because I think the thing was they said like his rage inside like made his claws heat up. So then he had like razor sharp, hot adamantium claws. It's like,
That's weird.
is that's excessive?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's really weird.
because it's not like he needs the heat to cut through anything, because the claws cut through everything already.
Right.
So I'm curious to know what the idea was behind that. Kind of like the way they did this Xavier head. It's got like the thought beams going around it, so like you can tell that he's thinking.
Oh, nice.
Because I mean, they have the Cerebro head also, like that's on there by default.
Wow. I think I've seen that figure. But that makes me think. It's like when I get mad, do my bones heat up? But just on the inside with like.
Jeez. See, that's what I was hoping it was going to be when I saw like that it had special claws. I was hoping it was going to be like the bone claws Wolverine from like, it was like Wolverine 25 or 75, one of those.
I've wanted a good Wolverine figure with bone claws.
Because I remember reading the Fatal Attraction storyline, and like he got the adamantium ripped out, and that was a huge thing,
Yeah.
And like that was when Colossus turned on the X-Men, at least one of the times, I suppose.
Right.
I remember like that was when Magneto did his thing about like taking charge of like the iron in people's blood and holding them to the ground. But then who was it? Bishop, like the whole time he was absorbing all this power, and then he like exploded like a like a battery that couldn't hold any more charge than it had. So that was kind of weird, because it's like, what power is he absorbing right now? Like nothing's really happening other than him just standing there and basically being paralyzed. So it was a little weird. Bishop, that took forever to fall down. Bishop is also one of those figures that I wouldn't mind having one of.
Oh yeah, I like
and also Forge. I always thought Forge was cool, because like I've always been a bit of a nerd when it comes to like figuring things out and constructing things or whatever.
Yeah.
So Forge was also a very cool guy, in my opinion, because he could build anything. And I was like, that's pretty cool,
I would love to see a good Colossus figure.
Let's see, I got a Funko Pop with the bone claws. I've mostly gotten away from the Funko thing. I don't have anything against it. I never will, and I'll never say I do. It's just that it's good to not be in that universe, because there's so much out there. Like whatever you're into, they make a figure for it, and they're like $10. I mean, I like hot tamales. Had this been like last year, I probably would have bought that hot tamales Funko that I saw at Target a couple days ago.
No, it's not a Colossus figure. It's a Juggernaut figure. I would like a good Juggernaut figure.
Did you see the Juggernaut and Colossus figure pack that's coming up? I think it's Juggernaut.
No, I didn't.
Because it's him and yeah, that sounds right. Because I was gonna say it could be Juggernaut and Hulk, but I think it's a Juggernaut and Colossus. Yeah,
because I've seen like a lot of. I mean, I've seen a few Juggernaut figures, but just the idea of Juggernaut being in scale, or no, being the same height as the regular figures, it just never sat right with me. Juggernaut is supposed to be big.
Yeah, and they look like they might be big, because it was, those. I actually don't own any of the 2-packs, but you know how they put in those like 80-year anniversary 2-packs they were doing a while ago?
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those. So I'm hoping that that's their excuse to put it into a bigger box and it be a bigger figure. Mr. Demetrius, what is going on, man? It's been a while.
I wouldn't mind if Hasbro Pulse did a HasLab exclusive Juggernaut. I wouldn't mind that.
I'm wondering, because I'll have to look it up in a second, because I feel very strongly that one is coming soon. Well, I don't know what they mean when they say coming soon. Because is that soon in like a couple days, or
right,
soon,
a couple years,
like the next release cycle or whatever? Let's see.
And I would also like to see a Blob figure. I think that's one villain that just like I don't think they ever did a figure of the Blob.
I feel like you might be correct in that. Because, man, where did I see this thing? Yeah, because I'm seeing one from a while ago, but I think they're just bringing it back. Or maybe they were just making another one. But I can only find like the Colossus Juggernaut 2-pack that was released a while ago, like 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah, Demetrius, how's everything going with you, man? I haven't talked to you in a little bit, you know? Because I
What's
know
going
there's,
on, Demetrius?
yeah, it's one of those things. Because I remember he was around for one of the sneaker battles I did, where it was, I want to say it was the gauntlet match, because it was when like Coffee pulled out these ridiculous like KD boots.
Oh yeah, the boots that fell apart on him at work.
Yeah, man, that was, of all the moments in the battles that I've done, like they usually have some entertainment in them, you know. Somehow I end up just, I never get the controversy like some of my peers do. Maybe one day, but like people usually walk away with a good laugh about something, and that was it that time. And man, like I watch that video every several months or whatever, because I'll repost it on Instagram or something, you know. And man, it's funny.
I definitely remember that battle. Yeah.
Man,
Where it was like of all the shoes you decide that
yeah.
that dilapidated KD monstrosity of a supposed boot.
Let's see, y'all going for no.
I'm on year ones in the morning. They're dropping. Oh, the website. Yeah, okay. The website is dropping more pairs. I guess they combated some of the bots, and they've got leftover pairs because they've got some adult sizes, and then they've got some grade school toddler sizes being released.
I don't know what the deal was with Miss McTaggart, but she came with like extra arms, or some kind of handkerchief, a book,
Wow.
and the extra head. So they went all out with her. So let's go ahead and get that extra leg out of there.
The problem I have with the Alma Mater Jordan 1s, they're not a bad shoe, but I just wasn't willing to put in the extra effort.
He's moving into a new house. Yeah, I'm not one for effort when it comes to things, which is again why I'm so drawn to like the Adidas shoes. I mean, sure, you know, there's some confirmed raffles and here and whatnot here and there for like random Forum 84s or something like that, or some Krusty. Well, the Krusty Burgers were just make your order within 24 hours and you'll be fine. But other stuff like that I usually go for, it's like it's just there, you know. It's like if I wanted to buy a new Brooks running shoe, like I just go to the website and they just have them, you know. Like the only time you can't get something like that is like if it released more than like 2 or 3 months ago, then it might start to get a little sketchy.
Right.
Let's see. So you've been busy with work and moving into a new house. Yeah, I hear moving into a new house can be very involving, you know, like the whole buying thing, like that process sounds mostly terrible. Maybe one day I'll have my own home or something, which would be nice, you know, to have a little bit more room. I'd also like to put some little shelves on the wall where it's just like kind of like you see on a bookshelf, you know, but on the wall, just like shelving. Because then I could like set some of the stuff up.
Yeah.
But for now,
that is my next step. That's what I've been looking into, because I want to have like a separate, like a downstairs basement that's big, so that one wall can be dedicated to my figure collection, the other wall can be dedicated to my shoes, and then if I do videos, I can just transition by sliding the camera from one end to the other, from shoes to figures, and then have my gaming area and my editing area all down there at the
See, that's the American dream right there. Not
Right.
all of America knows it, but it is. Let's see. Where's the Marvel stuff? There we go. Real quick here, I'll run through these guys that I picked up here. Show you the close-ups and all that. So Cyclops was in that group, right? You remember Cyclops?
Nice. That's a better one.
Apparently, he killed Professor Xavier a few years ago, but because it's a comic book, he probably came back. Oh, I just realized I didn't open all these yet because they're still hurt. But I'll give you the ones that are open for now anyway. So that some kind of Omega Sentinel or whatever, the girl that had all the extra hair. I don't know what the deal is with that, but there's her. There's the new girl that I was talking about, right? She's got those black glasses and the brown hair. That's just what I think of when I see her. So there's that. Then, like I was saying, you got Professor X with his little Cerebro head.
That's weird.
It is a little bit weird, and just like he looks like an alien because he's so thin and he's just got this big head thing going on. The star of the bunch, in my personal opinion, is this Magneto right here. The cloak is a little bit loose in some ways, but there's probably some way to kind of. Sometimes they have a little part where you just kind of like push it down onto them, like one of those little indentions in their chest.
Right.
And then Wolverine.
I love that figure. I love that Wolverine figure.
Some very nice looking claws too.
Because the only thing I remember about like ever buying Wolverine figures, because I went through a lot of them as a kid, was like the claws were always crooked, and they would like the plastic would be so thin or so rubbery that any little bit of heat would like warp the claws, and I just really hated that about Wolverine figures.
Yeah, I think the Wolverine that I got with remember the Old Man Logan and the Old Man Hawkeye?
Yeah.
I just got that like last month, even though it's been out for like 2 years or something. I just got it, and so that one right there, I could tell just because it's a clear package, and one of his claws was like 2 of them were like straight, and then the other one was kind of pushed off to the side. But the way it looks, it's very much like it was just done that way when it was put into the boxes.
Right.
So I can't really fault like Best Buy or whatever shipping for that, but it is what it is.
I did notice that when I saw when I saw you showing that figure, I did notice that.
Say that again?
I said I did. That was one of the things when you showed off that figure in the last live. I did notice that his claws were crooked, and I was like, I hope that will fix itself.
I mean, and it might. Like once you take it out, sometimes there is a little bit of adjustment that you can do, and sometimes it's just it takes time or whatever. But it doesn't help that it's still in the package, just sitting there getting further and further stuck in place. Oh, there we go. Now she's out. Marvel Girl.
I've never seen Marvel Girl before. Well, I take that back. I've seen her once, I think, but I always get confused when they go back and forth between like the 60s version X-Men and the modern version X-Men. It's all a blur.
Yeah, I don't really. And there's certain things that I kind of remember, and then a lot of things that I largely don't, to be completely honest. Let's see. Marvel Girl 3, so that's right. Okay. I was about to put this leg on the wrong side. Because sometimes these things just look like they could go either way. But that's not the case here. So there's that. This thing is very lanky.
Yeah, it looks like it. And that's supposed to be like the Sentinel?
It's the Tri-Sentinel.
Oh, okay. Because when I hear Sentinels, I usually think of like the really huge things.
Oh, wait.
As a matter of fact, I think about the HasLab Sentinel that they did.
See that Marvel's Tri-Sentinel? Because it has 3 heads, I guess. So yeah,
Huh.
yeah, that's what I said. I was like, "Ah, sure, whatever."
I want the HasLab Sentinel as well because it came like as like when they got enough backers to it, it like you got the tentacles that were unlocked as part of an extra, but didn't make that one either because at that time I did not understand how HasLab really worked. So
I
another sad story.
I only know of it from you talking about it right now, and this feels like something that is easy to break. Like putting these things in here. Is that in there?
Like the way HasLab is they will put out a crowd-funded project and you have a certain amount of time to join that crowd fund.
Oh
If they
yeah.
get enough backers, they will continue to with the creation of the product. If they don't get enough backers, they give you your money back. And if it makes it to production, but you didn't participate in it, you don't get it at all. You have to get it through resale.
I remember that with the Transformers planet,
Yeah,
whatever that Omnicron. No, that's
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
else.
I'll
What's
forget something like that.
yeah? I don't envy that. And that one in itself, I was like, nope, I'm not even gonna bother with this. Yeah, I'll do that last one later. But either way, that's kind of what it's gonna look like when you get all the heads in there. It's just a big
Oh my
lengthy thing.
goodness, yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with that
Yeah,
either.
because it's like it's this little indentation there, right? You know, as they normally are. And then like the way the things are, it's like that. So you just got to get that in there.
Yeah, and that's easily gonna snap off if you don't hold it in the right place.
Exactly. So I'm just like, we can shelve that for now. you know. Let's see. But I hadn't mentioned it before, and now that that's out of the way, I'm curious to see what's going on here, and then probably get things wrapped up because I gotta wake up in the morning and all that stuff, do the work thing.
Absolutely.
But figure I'll do a little scroll through
See,
of
that's
the.
the Hulk I'm talking about with the terrible head.
Oh yeah, that is a weird head, at least from here.
Yeah,
Who is America Chavez? Wait, isn't no? I'm thinking something else. I don't know who that is. I've seen that despair somewhere, not like in person, but I just saw it being talked about with whatever pack that's going to be a part of.
yeah.
That Sleepwalker looks kind of cool though.
I like that.
It also just looks like a weird combination of like Green Goblin and Demon Goblin.
Chameleon. Um,
Then there's Master Mordo. That's Astral Form Doctor Strange. Oh,
yeah, I wanted that one, and then I noticed it was part of a Build-A-Figure, and then as I scrolled through, I saw like 5 million other Doctor Stranges, and
it must be one of those other Lokis. Ooh, this Mr. Sinister.
yeah,
That one, that is probably going to happen.
that
More than
Captain
likely.
America is a good one too.
The only question with this one is if it will be a standalone thing or if it will come. Oh, okay. So it is the anime. So that one
Yeah, it's
will just be
standalone.
a standalone figure, but
Yeah,
of a set to where like you can buy all of them, but it's not a build a figure thing,
right, right,
which is good because that's what I would prefer that, so I don't have to
right.
get roped up into too much. And I have a Scarlet Witch
But
already.
that Captain America, that's going to be a good one. The accessories are probably the best part about that figure. Um, because I don't know if they're like magnetically attachable, but it's like you get bullet effects and all other kind of effects on there. So yeah, that's
Easy.
what I might grab.
Easy. What's going? Is the link still there? Nope, that is not the right link. Where is the link for this thing? If you want to jump in, we're only going to be here so much longer, but if you want to jump in and say a few words or anything, please feel free to. Haven't seen you in a while. I know you've been putting up some videos, but then you just put one up about, I saw something about a pair of 95s and then something else. Sometimes like the time that goes into making things takes away from the time of catching up on things. Let's see, so Black Falcon or Winter,
Falcon America. I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to think because like that line in like the Falcon and Winter Soldier where like the kid is like, "Hey, it's Black Falcon." He's like, "It's just Falcon." He's like,
right.
Like, yeah. So that comes.
I'm not a huge fan of Falcon being Captain America, but whatever.
I mean, I think everything can be okay in moderation, but I don't like when things change because it's like, okay, I'm gonna be this person now.
Right.
It's like, oh man, like Captain America had to go out of town for like 2 months.
Right.
Take care of it. And then like Captain America comes back and like 2 months later, it's like, why is America on fire? And then there's like this fight between them two. That could be cool. Right. That can set up its own little storyline. Let's see. Now, I just got like a Marvel Legends vision. Unless this is the same. No, we went over this before.
That's a different one. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about in the last slide.
Yeah, what is this? This seems like something that nobody asked for. Is that Richter? Or is that somebody else?
I have no idea. This is the first time I'm seeing that.
Oh, it is Richter. Why? Like, why is that happening? That is strange to me. Like, I mean, again, nothing against any of those people, right? Like who they are, but it just seems odd. I do want this Marvel 2099 Spider-Man or whatever you call it. Yeah, so there is a lot of stuff, and of course the Jubilee. Kind of have to get that. This metal Spider-Man could be kind of cool. I remember that.
Ooh, I love metal Spider-Man. I had the original like 90s metal Spider-Man figure, and I loved it.
I mean, I know we're on a Marvel page, but seeing this figure off on the side, I was like, is that a G.I. Joe on the wrong page?
Right.
Because like compared to everything else, it looked small, which G.I. Joe has always looked small to me. And then he had a bunch of guns. And I was like, is that G.I. Joe? But yeah, so this one I'll have to keep an eye out for. I mean, it says sold out here, but it's also, I'm guessing it's just sold out on the pre-orders for them. But
yeah,
it's a special situation. And this, I remember talking about that last time we were on here, that 3-pack, which supposedly is the first Megan figure in a long time, possibly the first Megan figure ever. But I'm in it for the Captain Britain and the Shadow Cat with the Lockheed. Because
wow, a lot of their good stuff is sold out.
Yeah, but I'm gonna assume that those will pop up on like Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store and the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Now
what's good, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on?
I'm coolin', man. How y'all been, man?
Not bad. What about you?
Oh man, what hasn't been going on?
Breaking the bank with these Hasbro Pulse figures. I mean, yeah.
No, I'm still that Megazord pre-order. I said I'm mad and happy at the same time that I had just forked that over for that pre-order.
I just want to
Which
point
one?
out
The 2 something or the 1 something?
The 1 something. That was the standard one, right? That was the black and gold edition.
Yeah, because I ended up getting the black and gold with the NFT and that whole thing.
Yeah, that whole thing just kind of like threw me off. I was like, so I had 2 days to really purchase that black and gold one. So I said, nah, I'll wait for the standard edition.
Right. I missed out on the standard one because it was, I mean, like, it didn't even sit there long. So
yeah, I think it said about maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah.
But I think they'll do another one eventually. They'll probably do another wave.
Yeah.
This box was not this empty when I started doing this tonight.
Oh wow. Yeah, no,
because let's see, it's 3 Marvel Legends waves, so that's 21 plus the 7 of the AEW, so that's 28. It's a lot of unboxing there, but it needed to happen. It did. So thanks to everyone who bared with me through that. Talking about random stuff while I did it made it not so, I don't know, time consuming, or at least made it not feel like it was so time consuming. Hey, Jeezy, you missed this earlier. The Sting AEW figure.
Was that the that's the recent one?
Yeah, this one came out last week, I guess.
Oh, I like that one.
So I'm sure sooner or later it'll be like super available everywhere, because these pop up in Targets and Walmarts and Ringside Collectibles. But if you want, like, just let me know and I'll keep an eye out for when I see one. If you're looking for one.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no.
And past that, there's a bunch of Marvel Legends figures, like a lot of them. And then 2 live shoe reviews earlier to start the night off. So
yeah, I've kind of been holding back a little bit from the Marvel Legends. I mean, I've been picking up a few, but not too many, because a lot of them are just repaints at the end of the day. So it doesn't make sense to me buying the same figure 3 times.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. I mean, because in some cases, I mean, if it's one thing, if it's like, where's the other one? Like tonight, like I opened up 2 Magnetos, right? So it's at least 2 very different Magnetos here. You know what I mean?
Now that Apocalypse Wave Magneto, I think that was a necessary one. Yeah, that was dope.
That's what I was talking to Shoes up about, the Doctor Strange figures.
And we were both agreeing that this one came off like better than we expected.
Oh yeah.
Because some figures you don't think much of them, you don't really expect a whole lot, but
right.
This one was very well done.
That figure needs to be backlit so that you can
wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Like I had when I was younger, I remember seeing random light figures and stuff. So this one, man, this is a nice one.
Yeah, that backlight turned into a $50 figure real quick.
Well, that is another factor for sure. But man, yeah, it's good to get you on the line. Though it's been a little while since we've been in here, the 3 of us anyway.
Oh yeah.
And I will, toss this out there. I'll put it out there later to everybody else, but the normal recap thing I do on the beginning of the month, this time around it'll just be for the year. So if you guys want to come around, there won't be as much of a structure to it like I normally do with like the slideshow or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll probably have something ready to go for maybe 5 or so, minimum 5, maximum of 10 of the releases for this month. That were noteworthy, because there were a couple, right? And then after that, it'll just be an open discussion of the ones that came out over the year that you're into.
Right.
So that will be probably the first Sunday of the year, but I'm not going to commit to that right now. But that's just usually when it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Because I don't. Actually, that might work out pretty well, because I think there's a pay-per-view that night.
Yeah, day 1.
Yeah. So I'll probably do that, and then potentially a live session while that goes on. Oh, hey, welcome back. I don't know when you exactly walked away or what I was doing when you walked away, but basically, are these the ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be one other one. So, did you see like there was Wolverine? Hold on a second, because he was in here. Mr. Nine was in here earlier when I was doing some unboxings and we were talking about figures. So Wolverine, right? Can't not have him. Very good one. If it would focus, that'd be even better.
Yeah, the House of M.
I want to say Miss Marvel. Marvel Girl, right here. So once again, with not focusing, but it's just it is what it is. Professor X with his Xavier head. I mean, with his Cerebro head. The other one had like him with like the thought lines around and stuff, so pretty cool. And then Moria McTaggart. She came with like all the accessories. If you were looking for like that gives you like
Yeah.
for your buck, this was the one out of the whole lineup. The Omega Sentinel, something like that. So I don't know much at all about this figure at all. Cyclops was in there too. So it's pretty nice one. The other one has like the light kind of coming off of his eyes, like before he shoots the beam or whatever.
Right.
And he also came with the beam too, so you can put that on there if you want to action layout. And then the main reason that I was drawn into this line was Magneto, and there's that. And that I need to put the last head on, but it builds this here Tri-Sentinel. So this is like the last head. I just need to get it on there, but these heads are not easy to get onto this particular figure. But yeah, here it is, this big lanky robot.
That was a dope way, though.
Stands up. I wonder how well it stands.
He said Mary McYogurt. Yeah, so this one I'm definitely cool with. And so it's not really doing good things for making me not want to buy more Marvel Legends figures, because I know that it's a slippery slope that I should avoid.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna block that real quick, I guess. I guess remove. Nope, that's not what I want. I don't know. Oh, that's the one. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Every now and then people like to share their thoughts. I'm not huge into censoring people, honestly, because it's the internet. Let people think what they think. But there's a line. There is. Is that
It's a good thing I didn't see it, because if it was if it was terrible.
GC, you got a question in there. Is there a Nike shoe bag in your possession right now or something?
I think that's a. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the shoebox bags.
Oh yeah, those are those bags that like I think are overpriced until they put them on sale, and then they're fairly priced.
Yeah, now they're however much they are now. I know they did the black cement 4 box and the black cement 3 box on them. But yeah, they find any reason to put anything on resale.
How do you like those so far? Because I like visually, I wasn't a fan of those.
I mean, they're good travel bags. I'm gonna say that they're good travel bags. Like when I was flying around, they good carry-ons. Like for my hats, I was able to get into that bag into another duffel bag. So, so I mean, they do their job.
That makes sense.
Forgot how many hats I've been able to get in there though. I think about 8 or 9.
Man, that's a fair amount.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a size 8 head, then that's.
I guess you would need like 8 or 9 hats on a trip, but I mean, you never know.
If I look 2 a day, 4 days, 2 switching between night and day, yeah, probably so.
I got my last one for $10. Yeah, see, I ain't paying $10 for that.
That's how much I got mine.
Like I had no doubt that he would have a way to get through them. You know, if he's there for a couple days, I can see that. Or maybe just one busy day. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, you gotta have that one beater hat that you wear in the airport.
I just bought my dad 2 Cowboys hats
Oh,
from the New Era store. So he is a huge fan of them. You know,
How did that go over?
very well. He's like, man, like, I don't, if I want to wear these.
oh man,
Yeah, I remember when you were on the search for hats for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
you should have let me know. I could have found something for you because they had a slew of Dallas hats that came through.
Oh well, hey, keep your eyes open. If you see one that you think is visually appealing or whatever, let me know because I got him for him because I know he likes hats and I know he likes the Cowboys. But with us going to WrestleMania next year, it's going to be in Dallas, so
Right.
Get him a Cowboys hat to wear there.
Oh, most definitely. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Because, yeah, it's it's not like it's going to be a hard one to find, you know. But
Right. It's America's team.
I mean, they say that. So
yeah, I'm about to say, there's a good 3/4 that hate him.
Right.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I don't know. It's one of those like old time rules, I guess. You know, like at one point, I'm sure like that was a thing. You know, and they do still have their fans, right? I can't say they don't. Like every team does, but I want to get the new Atlanta Braves state hat with the tree on it. You know anything about that one?
I have no idea.
Because I know I know just because you're in Atlanta doesn't mean you know about everything that happens, but I thought maybe, you might be in the loop.
Like
Now, I've seen the peach, I've seen the tomahawk. I haven't seen one with like an actual tree on it.
Like keeping up with hats is probably the hardest thing ever to keep up with as far as collecting, because so many people do so many different variations. But no, I hadn't heard about a Braves hat with a tree on it. I would probably buy it if it's a fitted cap. No, I won't buy it. But if it's a snapback, I'd definitely love to have it.
Let's see. Yeah, that's the one that I got from my dad because I wasn't sure what his head size. It's like I asked my mom, like, "Hey, what's his head size?" She's like, "Small. His head is so small." And I'm like, "What?"
Right.
I'm like, well, I'll just go the other route because I didn't even know what to do with that. I was like, okay. So I'm just gonna move on from this.
What is that? How do you say that? Scut 9? I don't
That's
like
what I said. Actually, it might be Scoot 9.
Scoot 9. Scoot 9. Okay, yeah.
Like a Scoot 900. Like from my days, like when I used to hang out with friends of mine that were into like the martial arts and things, like there's like the Scoot 9 was short for like a Scoot 900, and like it was one of the tricks they used to do. You know, I forget. It's kind of like the Scoot was like this ground motion you make, and then like you do this 900-degree motion afterwards involving some kicks and stuff. So like with your feet kicks. So,
right.
Maybe.
Where did you see the hat? Is it like a New Era hat or something like that?
That sound like something New Era the actual site will have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this figure looks. I think
because my team won the World Series, so.
Man,
that was a New Era exclusive hat he's talking about.
Let's see. It's the Atlanta Braves Holly hat. Has a branch going through the A instead of the New Era
was
hat.
a New Era hat.
Oh well, yeah. If it's an exclusive and you didn't get it, then you ain't getting it.
Oh well.
Yeah, they were doing like a 12 days of. They were doing like a 12 days of Christmas drop, and like every day they did a different drop. So that was one of them.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
oh yeah, you definitely not getting it unless you paying for it.
This
Nice.
thing right here. This is just a weird thing all around.
I mean, it comes together well, but the body, I just hate how slim
Yeah,
the body is.
that just
Yeah.
I mean, that's an entirely new mold though. So I mean,
Got these Lady Deathstrike hands.
Yeah. Like it just puts me in an Aeon Flux kind of mind frame.
Well, that's okay if it's not the movie, because that movie was not okay.
It was terrible. The movie was
Like
terrible.
I have that movie on my shelf right now, and I get sad every time I see it. It's like, because sometimes you buy stuff before you watch it.
let me see. Yeah, I got
Hoping that
Flux
it's
right
gonna
here,
be
DVD.
something better than what you know it's gonna be.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Is that Eon Flux or is that? Yeah, that's Eon Flux right there.
Yeah, because like for the most part, I just remember her from the cartoon on MTV, like around the time of, like the Mac and
Yeah.
the dude with the head, right?
Yeah.
I remember that, sure, but
And the fly would come out of her eye and stuff like that.
The movie, yeah. I don't know what was going on with the movie, and I don't remember even at this point, but it was just because I don't remember the show a whole lot either. But they didn't line up like I would want them to.
Right.
Like a weird proportion to this thing, like, and why the 3 heads?
So they can deliberate on what they want to do.
I was just about to say maybe it's like remember the multi-head thing from the most recent like War on Cybertron?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought about.
Yeah, maybe it's like that. So, did that end? I don't remember. Was it just a trilogy, or is there going to be another part to that?
I think there's going to be more parts to that.
Because I can't remember how it ended. Because I watched it all relatively close to each other.
Yeah, look, he said hit the nail on the head. Ultraviolet. That was the other movie I was thinking about.
Yeah.
That
was terrible too.
Yeah, but they all came out at the same time. It was like too many cyberpunk movies coming out back to back.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look that movie up, Ultraviolet, because I remember it. Like
I've got that one too,
but I don't quite remember a whole lot about the movie. Oh yeah,
Ghost in the Shell that had Scarlett Johansson in there.
Now, Ghost in the Shell was a fairly decent one.
Like, it was okay.
Yeah,
I like it stayed true to the original, but
I think that was one of those. I think because around that same time frame when like Blu-ray was kind of big because it had just won the Little War and stuff. I think Ultraviolet might have been one of the movies talked about then because it was good demo material, but not a good movie.
Right.
So there was a lot of that going on back then.
Because compared to Aeon Flux and Ultraviolet, Ghost in the Shell was great, but as a standalone movie,
right. All right, cool, man. So I hadn't been paying attention to the time. I know I've been sitting here for a while, but I see now that we're coming up on the 4-hour mark. So we're going to end this, right?
Right.
It's also like 12:15 in our part of the world, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a hour behind.
So, Ex Machina. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. But so we are going to depart from here. Jeezy, appreciate you stopping in. It's only for a short while. I get it, but hey, sometimes better than no time. Homegrown, same to you, because you've been here a long time.
Yeah, I've been here for about 2 hours now.
So yeah, so for like a good bunch of it. And Mr. 9 here, he was around for even more than you, pretty much. I mean, he stepped away for a minute.
Right.
But yeah, so thanks to everybody that came through. I definitely appreciate it. Jeezy, hold on, let me put Jeezy's link in this because he just asked if you have a channel.
Oh yeah.
And I will set that link in there for you.
Oh, appreciate you.
But yeah, so definitely stop in. Don't be a stranger, Mr. 9. And hopefully we'll, get back to doing some lives a little more regularly. I've just been trying to catch up on videos and stuff, but I do like doing this. It is fun. But for now, from me to you, and this is all of you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I've pasted their links in there. I'll update this afterwards to kind of tag some things and whatnot. And then you can follow along with them as well, which I would appreciate because they're friends of mine. And that's kind of the reason I like to have people in here so that the word on them can get to more people that haven't necessarily seen them before. So thanks for doing that. I'm sure they'll be thankful as well. But for now, like I said, I'll be back another time. So later, people.
Good morning, everybody.